Yeah, what's happening, BDA family? Big show of boxing today. I'm going to be your host. You know what time it is when Stu Little host. None of this PC correct BDA business. Oh, hang on a minute. I need to fucking pause this. It's not a very good start. There we go. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Some decent night of boxing. Definitely from the UK. I enjoyed that. We got a shock in America, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Korobov Jermall Charlo fight and how he had that one going. A lot of people seem to think that Charlo got a lucky decision there. So we're going to talk about that. I mean, I'm waiting for Butcho to send the links, and we'll get this show going. I mean, I'm just Cachnello in the chat said Stu and BDA got low place all into his feelings again. Yes, I mean, I've just seen the video, and the Boxing Clown Edition episode 2 will be out tomorrow. So tune in if you want to see low place get his head top taken off, because that's exactly what's going to happen. Got Del Boy news, Del Boy boxing news in the chat. I like Del Boy. I do watch his channel when I got time. We've got Jason Bourne. He says this should be interesting. I mean, Jason Bourne's a guy that likes to give me a lot of shit, so at least he's not attacking me yet. We've got Alex Guerra in the chat. The Charlo sisters got a real bad night. They did indeed. I mean, we will talk about that. I mean, the BDA have been saying for a long time, you know, that that the Charlos, people need to calm down with these guys. You know, we saw straight away that these guys were well behind Canelo and Golovkin's level, and the big man of their divisions. They didn't look at last. They didn't look at last night, shall we say? Cachnello says Stu is low place's daddy. Yep, well, I'm ashamed to give, to help create someone like low place. I mean, I think I'm going to get the snip, so that can't happen again. But like I said, tune in for the Boxing Clown Edition episode 2. Low place will be headlining it, and he's going to get his head top taken off, because there's some good work. Some of my best work there. I saved it for low place. But yeah, we've got Joey Ocean in the chat. Joey always likes to turn up. Thank you, Joey. Just letting the people roll in. I'll give it a couple of minutes to let the people get in, because it takes these guys a while to roll in. But we've got a lot to talk about. I mean, I missed the Dominic Brazil fight. I actually had to catch a lot of these fights up on streams the next day on videos, and some of them were poor quality. And because I fell asleep, I went out on the razzle Friday. I rolled in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and when it got to after the British cards, I was struggling to stay awake, and I just couldn't stay awake any longer. And it was Charlo at the end of the day. If it was Canelo, Golovkin, or something, I probably would have stayed up. But it was Charlo, and I can watch Charlo anytime. And at the end of the day, we saw him get exposed. I mean, Korobov. What is it with these Europeans, man? I mean, they keep getting off the couch with a spliff in their mouth and schooling the best America's got to offer, man. I mean, this is the state American boxing is in right now, where the boogeymen are getting guys that have not been active for a year and a half with, get off the couch with a spliff in their mouth and take them to school. Now, with the Charlo fight, I've not caught all of it. I've caught bits and bobs because I had to catch up on so many fights. So I'm not going to sit here and claim that Charlo got the robbery, but the noise I'm hearing is that he got lucky, and the other brother, he got robbed. But then again, I've seen a lot of comments saying that there was no robbery. Harrison, what I've seen of that, Harrison, because in and out of fights I was, because I've been busy today. I've had my twin. So what I see of Harrison, his work looked a lot classier. He was snapping Jermall's head back with a jab. I mean, it's just basic stuff, 1-2. But Charlo's so wide with his shots. I've said that, both of them. I've been saying it for ages. They're so wide with their shots. Anyone with decent straight punches is going to cause them problems. And like I said, Korobov, I mean, just shows you the levels Charlo is at the moment, because Korobov is a guy in his prime that got knocked out by Andy Lee. And what I saw of Korobov, he did look quite decent last night, but he didn't really have to be great, did he? He didn't have to be great to make it competitive with Charlo. because Charlo was useless. Let's be real. It was a horrible performance from him with his wide swinging. It's like a fucking Deontay Wilder Mark II in it. Do you know what I mean? And the thing with them big heads they've got, they're easy targets. I mean, you could fucking throw a windmill and it still land. Do you know what I mean? Because them heads, they're not. It's easier to miss. Well, it's harder to miss them, really. But yeah, we'll get. Like I said, the numbers are picking up now, so we'll get onto this card. We'll start in the UK first, but I do want to get some people in. I know Butcho sent a few links, and hopefully I'll be getting joined by some people because I don't know if I can fucking handle this show on my own for 2 hours. But let's read some of the comments in the chat first, and then we'll get onto it. Because I'm hoping someone will pop in, like recognise and give me under abstract or something like that. All right, let's go down there. Let's go down this. Let's start here. Let's start Canelo. Jermall wants to jump straight to Canelo fight and skip the WBC Mando versus Golovkin. No surprise there. Well, I've been saying for a long time, if he fights Golovkin, he's getting destroyed. He's just not ready for that level yet. I mean, if Korobov is causing him problems, then fucking hell, he should forget about Golovkin right now. And that's just that's where we are.
Wait a minute. You're the only one over here. Bucho's gone?
Boxing style. Next time you come in and just interrupt like that, I'm muting your ass.
You shush. I was just wondering.
No, I'm the host today, bro. We've got obviously, guys. We've got boxing styling. Didn't even have a chance to introduce him. He just introduced himself.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, maybe Bucho left, so he can't do my introduction. So
yeah, no introductions today, bro. No introductions today. We've got 13. I forgot his real name.
13 rounds.
13 rounds. That's the one. He's in the hangout as well. And I just want to read these comments out, boys. Then we'll get into it. Right, we've addressed Catch now as well. Let Guerrero de Lafano, whatever his name is. As soon as the Charlos stepped up in competition, they got exposed. I mean, I can't disagree with that one. I mean, there's not a lot of people can. I mean, they didn't look good last night. Let's just, even if we say it was a bad night at the office, it still doesn't look good on their behalf. You know, when you look at the opponents they was in with, and these are I mean, these guys. I mean, they were telling me that fucking Canelo and Golovkin don't want that Charlo work. I mean, what fucking planet are these people on? But MB says Josh Warrington is world class. Put him in with Oscar Valdez and he wins, in my opinion. Josh Warrington was absolutely superb last night. And Josh Warrington is the prime example of a fighter. If you haven't got knockout power, then you have to find other ways to win. I mean, because he's obviously not a back foot fighter slick like Floyd Mayweather, where he can stink the joint out, pop shot his way to a points win, looking stylish doing it. He's not that sort of fighter. So he works, constantly works. He lets his hands go, and he's quite clever as well. He's educated pressure. He's not steaming in and walking onto right hands. He's working his way in with his jab. He's really good on the inside, and his punches are enough to hurt you. I mean, he had Frampton hurt numerous times, and Frampton looked like fucking had lumps all over the place. So Frampton even admitted he got hurt many occasions. So a guy like Josh Warrington, he might not look on paper that he's hitting you hard, but when he's hitting you 40, 50 times around, it all adds up, sort of thing. And he clearly won that fight. But we're going to ask the other guys in the hangout their opinion on that in a bit. Nino Gadji, oh, he's saying what a set to do. I'm not reading that. Shepherd of Sons, yes, the show. Yes, we've got a show, bro. Butcho is busy at the moment, so I've had to step in. Third choice host at the moment. I'm on the bench. You know, when the starters are not performing, then they get me up, try and change the game. But yeah, I'm the third choice host, but I'll be doing the show. We've got Jason Bourne. Oh no, Boxing Styles is on. I take it he's seen Boxing Style. Nino Gadji, Korobov smashed Charlo. We're definitely going to get into that. Bayano playing main. Another two PBC fighters exposed. Who's next? I mean, yeah. I mean, they're dropping like flies at the moment, getting exposed, and the boogeyman as well. I mean, the Wilder, the boogeyman, and the Charlos, the boogeyman, and you know, just none of them have looked. I mean, it's been a terrible month for the LDBC. I mean, I'd like to see what the suicide rates are in America at the moment. I'm sure they've gone up since these couple of weeks. Do you know what I mean? But let's go down here. Nino Gadji, 78 dumbass, said the one Charlo struggled because he was distracted from the other Charlo getting robbed. I mean, this is...
Oh, my God.
I've seen this quite a few times, this comment. It's absolutely pathetic. Let's be real. He shouldn't even be watching his brother's fight. He shouldn't know the result. If you're going to fight on your brother's card, I understand. I can see where 78's coming from, that it's not a great idea. When you see your brother crying in the ring because he's got robbed, it's going to affect you because he's a twin brother. And as someone who's got twins, I know, do you know what I mean? That is Charlo. He shouldn't have had the screens on, just concentrate on his own fight and then find a result afterwards or something. I don't know, but either that or just don't fight on the same cards, because although that's no excuse, but levels are levels at the end of the day, you know, whether your brother's won or not, it's a mental thing. And you see Jermall, it cracked him, I think, mentally. You know, when he was in the change room, he saw the decision, he turned around. I think he went to have a little cry. I mean, that's not good before a fight. So I can see where 78 dumbass sports TV guys, still no excuse.
That's not an excuse, man. Let's be real. That's not an excuse. Korobov was, or Korobov, whatever his name is. That fool was outboxing the shit out of him. And it's fucking down. I mean, I only gave him like I didn't even watch it live. I watched it after because I mistimed it. I thought it was gonna be at like 9 o'clock or something. So I missed the fight.
What we'll do, actually, Boxing Star. What we'll do then? We'll start now. We'll get onto the fights and we'll start with the Charlo Korobov and we'll work our way down. We'll do the British card as well because I think that was a good night of boxing, especially the BT card.
Awesome,
but we'll start with the Korobov fight, and we've got the chat, so I want to get him involved quickly so he can just jump in and go on. Box Style, carry on, bro.
Yeah, I was saying that. I mean, the guy got clearly outboxed. Both brothers got outboxed. Technically, no, the first one wasn't a robbery. The second one was definitely a robbery. But honestly, the older brother got outboxed way more than the younger brother. Technically. When I watched it, I was like, damn, he got hit with too many left hands. It was ridiculous. And I mean, he kind of rocked him at the end because he figured that he's losing the fight. He might want to look somewhat decent, but they were still going to give it to him anyhow, no matter what. I mean, that's for the first fight. I mean, that's for the Charlo fights. And we're not talking about the British fight. I shouldn't mention the British fights. All right, okay.
Yeah, we'll get onto that, bro. I just want to hear 13 rounds because he's been waiting patiently. I want to hear his opinion before we get to King.
Yeah, Stu, I thought Korobov won the fight. After 5 rounds, I had it 5-0 Korobov. I was scoring it. And then after that, I didn't score it anymore because I thought, you know, Korobov would win a unanimous decision or Charlo would knock him out. You know, either or. But I thought Korobov clearly outboxed Jermall Charlo. With that straight left hand, he looked like prime Pacquiao out there.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing with the Charlos, especially Jermall, very wide with his shots. Don't get me wrong. If he swings one of them and they land, then you're gonna have problems. But they're very telegraphed. You got a lot of time to see them coming, if you get what I'm saying, because they're so wide. And I think anyone with sort of decent, world-class straight punches can always cause the Charlos trouble when they're fighting like that. They need to start. Mixing it up a bit.
Yep.
So you know how he fights like? He fights like Anthony Joshua. I shit you not. It's barely head movement. He throws a jab. But Anthony kind of like, with Anthony Joshua, he kind of like he's not that. He doesn't just throw his jab out there like crazy. This fool was throwing his jab without even thinking. Like,
yeah. I don't think Joshua's a very good comparison, to be honest. I think Joshua's a bit more. I just think he's a bit more technically sound than Charlo.
Maybe they're pretty much the same,
defensively as well. I mean, like I said, Charlo is a good fighter. Don't get me wrong; he's no bum. But come on, man, Matt Korobov has just got off the sofa with a spliff in his mouth after a year and a half.
He might have improved. You never know.
Come on, what? 35 years old. You name me one fighter that's improved at 35 years old. Come on, I'll be waiting.
I mean, it's experience-wise. He knows, like, he has.
Are you telling me that was the best Matt Korobov? The best? He had a week to prepare for Charlo.
I don't know, because I don't know the guy. Honestly, I don't know.
He got knocked out by Andy Lee in his prime.
That's all I know. I've seen his
Well,
record.
that should be alarming in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Matt
why
Korobov was great last night. Matt Korobov he was great last night. For a man that's had a week to prepare for Charlo, he was great. But let's keep call a spade here. The guy has not fought anyone irrelevant for like a year and a half. He spent all week losing weight to make weight for this fight.
They're saying Willie Monroe was not wouldn't have been better than Matt. So
Matt Korobov's a better fighter.
Yeah.
I mean that's the way I look at it.
We've got Jimmy and we've got Recognize in the house. What's happening, Jimmy? Did you see the fights, bro?
What's going on, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
We're talking about Charlo, Korobov. We're going to work our way down to each fight, but we'll try and stick to one topic at a time because it goes all over the place, and I'm not used to this hosting stuff. So
right.
We'll start.
I'll check out and listen. I'll just listen.
Did you see Jermall versus?
Yes, I did,
Korobov?
sir. Yes, I did.
And what's your opinion, bro?
Like everybody, I think his stock plummeted last night. I mean, it was shown that he's not a thinking man. I mean, he went in there with one intention to bang him out, and when that didn't work, he was lost. Didn't know what to do. I was shocked how little he knew how to cut out the ring, and I was also shocked by his natural. He was a natural athlete, you can tell, but his balance. I was surprised how off balance he was all night because he was trying to put everything behind his shots. Yeah, no, it was, and never mind. wait till tomorrow morning when they announce the ratings. Too, that's something they're gonna have to deal with because I don't think it did well. But,
yeah, I think we see in the press conference. No, I think we see in the post-fight press conference that hang on a sec, fuck's sake. That they both look quite down, so they both know that performance was not good enough. I mean, the usual loudmouth Charlos just weren't there last night. You know, they're usually screaming and acting like animals when they've just sparked someone out cold. They usually, but they weren't doing that last night. Recognize in the house. What are you saying, brother?
What's going on, Stu? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. We talked about it last night. I basically think that Charlo, both their stock plummeted. I think, although I do think the little Charlo won the fight. I thought he won a close fight. I thought he edged it out, in my opinion, and I thought the bigger Charlo got a gift.
Bro, the younger Charlo barely even landed any clean shots. Barely any clean shots. He landed a few close.
Well, hang on a minute, boxing style. We'll get onto that. We'll get onto that next, bro. We're going to get on one fight at a time. I need to try and keep some.
That's my bad.
Yeah. Recognize.
But, yeah. I thought that big Charlo, and he is big, right? Like he's a big he's a big middleweight. I don't think he looked good. I thought he was. Shit, it almost looked like in every round, Korobov landed more power shots, like the more effective shots. I always thought that he either, not rock him like he's hurt, but, got his attention with Charlo in just about every round, I thought. I'm not saying that Korobov won every round. It just seemed to me that he was able to land some effect. Even when it was very little, he still landed effective shots that got Jermall.
I think because Jermall's so rugged, I think it actually looks a lot worse when he's getting caught with shots. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even the ones that ain't hurting, and they're looking quite big shots because he's always looking rugged and off balance and sort of thing. But
off balance.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like I said. It's just not a good day for the Charlos. I mean, I don't see it smiling because they've fucking got exposed, sort of thing. But it's more. This is the problem with their fans. They're like, they don't realise they're actually turning people against the fighters when it's not really the fighters we should have a problem with. But it's their fanboy. These fanboys of them are just such nasty pieces of work that you actually want these fighters like Charlo and Wilder to lose when it shouldn't be about that. So I'm not going to sit here and when Jermall cried, I'm not going to sit here and say I sat there cheering away. It didn't bother me, but it's just a lot of people found that great. But you know, not to me. I don't wish bad for these Charlo brothers, but I just want to keep it real. When everyone's telling me these guys are the boogeyman, and you know, they're not the boogeyman. They're not even top 5. Jamal's top 5, if that.
They're the booty man.
Thanks for the honesty, man. That's good. See, at least, you know, people don't want to say, you know, about this channel or bias, whatever. That's bullshit. People are honest because that's 100% honest. I'm the same way. I find myself, normally I would instantly, I'm a nationalist. I always, if I don't have a dog in the fight, I'll always go with American-born fighter. But I find myself not pulling for them for the exact reason you just said. Thank you for bringing that up.
And you're not the only one. A lot of people are the same, and this is why they're not getting the love in their own country. I mean, let's be real. Tyson Fury came over to America and got more love from the Americans than Wilder did, and that shouldn't be happening, you know. But the fact is, if you want to act like savages and have savage fans going around bigging you up every 10 seconds, then people are going to come back at you when you get beat, sort of thing. But you know, it's back to the drawing board for Charlos. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say about David James being replaced. I mean, what do you guys think of that? Do you think these boys can get better at 27 years old? Because I keep hearing, oh, they're only 27, but Canelo Alvarez is 27. Look at that fucking guy. He's a monster. He had 50-odd fights. How many world title fights? Where's Charlo? He's an intercontinental champion, or so, I don't know, interim champion. I mean, at 27. So can these guys get better? That's the question.
They could learn wrinkles, but as for change, I mean, it's pretty much set in stone, like you said. You know, you can develop bad habits, you can develop better habits. It just depends on how you. What they're talking about changing his trainer.
I think you said it yesterday, Jimmy. I think you nailed it when you said the mindset has to change.
Right. Yeah, that's what I feel.
If they're not ready now, they'll never be ready.
You know something? A lot of people feel that way. When you're 27, you're still pretty physically. You're basically in the beginning of your physical prime.
Right.
But this is the problem. My problem is, right, a lot of American fans, they don't want to get behind Danny Jacobs because he goes against their idea of a true brother sort of thing.
Because he's
worked. Yeah. So they because Charlos act like fucking thugs half the time. They want to get behind Charlo, but you've got a guy who conducts himself like Danny Jacobs, who's a much better fighter than Charlo, getting no love. Terence Crawford's getting no love, but yet they want to go around and big up Tank Davis and people like that.
Well, sorry.
I just don't get it. Like I said, the Charlo hype is amazing. It really is. When
I realized how bad it's gotten, you know, with the identity politics in the sport, is a year and a half ago, Jacobs sent out, it was an Instagram picture, I believe, but it was him at a hospital for children. And he took a picture with this little blonde girl, little doe-eyed, cute girl with cancer, right? Great thing. I'm like, wow, what a good I went down and just going through his comments. I got about 4 comments in before I found the first one. What, you couldn't find the sick black kid? I was like, what? See, my mind couldn't even go there. I'm like, this is a child with cancer. So this kid, they were actually cutting him up. Then I went down a few more, and there was somebody else who made a comment along those lines. You know, and then his trainer, did you notice the shirt his trainer had on? Black Pyramid. I mean, it's just why? Why are they fucking pushing it so hard? It's not doing themselves any favors.
I mean, like I said, it's been a terrible month for them. December 2018 is going to be a month that they're going to want to forget very quickly because it's not happening. It's not been happening for them. And you know, like I said, with Charlo, I mean, who would you like to see him fight next? That's what I want to know. Because you can forget Golovkin and Canelo? Who do you want? Who do you guys? And you can all jump in.
I would love to see him fight Lemieux. I want that's a great litmus test for him. See where he's at.
Oh yeah, we'll see. I think
Andrade.
Go on,
Demetrius Andrade.
Nah, Lemieux, bro. Lemieux. Andrade's gonna school the shit out of him. That's 100%. I have no doubt about that. Lemieux is gonna be a knockout, and I want to see a knockout. I think he's gonna knock his ass out clean. Lemieux hits harder. I think
he should be able to beat Lemieux, but Lemieux brings that threat to him.
Remember that fight that what was that fucker's name? That mustache dude.
Yeah,
O'Sullivan.
O'Sullivan, yeah.
first
Remember,
fight.
dude? Yeah, he got leveled. They were talking about. I think Lemieux's hitting a lot harder now. Honestly, they're saying that he went up 20 pounds. He was overweight or some shit. They were giving excuses of how quickly he knocked out O'Sullivan. Oh, look, I think Lemieux. I could be wrong, but Lemieux might be hitting a lot harder now. It's gonna be really more interesting to watch Lemieux fight. He looked a little bit like his belly looked like sticking out and shit and everything. If you watch him fight,
The thing is though, if Lemieux lands the shots that Korobov was landing,
he's
different things are going to happen to Charlo.
shaky legs, bro. Shaky legs.
Yeah.
He won't drop him automatically, but it'll be a shaky leg, and then another one will be probably flat on his ass.
But that'd be so that fight would be so wild because they're both wide with a. I think Lemieux's technically better with his hooks, but Charlo's a strong boy. Charlo is a strong boy, and you know he's no bum. I'm not going to accept that he's a bum, but we have to. I don't know.
So I think Charlo should beat Lemieux, but he brings that threat that if he get past that, I think it'll do a lot for his confidence. I think it would do a lot for Charlo's confidence if he was to get past Lemieux, which I think he should be able to.
Yeah.
So how did you have? I just want to quickly get the panel's opinion of who they had winning the fight because we've not really mentioned that yet. So we'll just go down the list. Go on, recognise you first. Did you have Charlo or Korobov?
I had Korobov 7-5.
Yeah, that's the score I'm getting a lot of in the comment section. Should we say boxing style?
Wait a minute. Oh yeah, I had Korobov too, and I had Tommy Harrison winning too.
Yeah, but we'll get to that in a minute. Korobov, what 7-5, 8 foot, what?
I had Korobov like 9-3, 8-4. You could, if you want to be generous, you give 8-4.
So you had Korobov clearly winning the fight then.
Fuck yeah, man! Like he landed like fucking almost every round. He landed 4 heavy shots on him, 4 left hands where that fool was just missing. Him making him miss like stupid, bro. Like it was ridiculous.
What about you? 13 rounds of boxing.
Yeah, I had Korobov winning 116, 112.
So basically the whole panel had Korobov winning. A lot of the comments I see around the internet had Korobov winning. I mean, there's no argument for Charlo. It's a bit like Wilder. He's turning around looking for people to back him, and no one's there. No one's got his back. So
nobody counts. Nobody's gonna count his crazy fans. They're not people we count.
Well, that's why I said nobody's there. I don't count them.
Yeah, you can't count those.
But I got one thing to say. I got one thing to say though. I think next time around he'll improve. He'll be better. I noticed that he'll get better the next time around. But the problem is though, he was too scared to engage. Sometimes you know how fights are. Like you're getting outboxed. The other guy is landing on you and shit. But the thing is, the problem is that this fool did not go like, you know what, I'm gonna bring the fight to him. He was too afraid to get hit, which makes me think that if that was Triple G, if that's Lemieux, if that's someone that with a heavy punch, you're fucked. You're done.
I don't think we seriously have to forget about Golovkin's name in the same sentence as Charlo.
Fuck Golovkin. Let's just put somebody
Charlo needs a big win and needs a confident win before we even think about Golovkin, because right now, he's not ready for someone like that. He needs to be looking at the lower brackets, like you said, at the David Lemieux sort of fighter, that sort of caliber. But before we're just going to get on to Jermall in a minute, I just want to address this because a lot of people in the comments, the chat now, the low play situation. He did a video calling us all sorts. He had a pop at Precise Presenter. He had a pop at me. He had a pop at Jimmy. But I've actually done the Boxing Clown edition, episode 2, featuring Low Place, and it'll be out tomorrow. So tune in if you want to see Low Place get his head top taken off. So I just wanted to address that. That'll be coming out. Low Place thinks he's going to get away with it. I'm afraid not.
Low Place do now?
I have a question. Isn't the WBC ordering Charlo and GGG next?
Well, I think that's what I'm hearing. But if I'm Charlo, I don't want that right now. Do you?
No.
Right, yeah, I agree. He's not ready.
If I'm Charlo's peoples, I don't want that.
I mean, if you're going to get caught like the way he did against that Rusty 35, or has been in a ring for a while, and doesn't hit nowhere near like Triple G. It'd be the wrong person. I'm just shocked that he wasn't willing to exchange. Like neither one of the. I mean, like why wouldn't they just get in there and make it dirty? Once you realize, like, okay, this kid's quick, he's getting off, and just never change your game plan. And yeah, somebody else just told me actually. Ego dropped me a DM saying that fucking Low Place is running his fucking mouth again. Like unbelievable.
Like I said,
like really, you're a grown ass man. You're making videos attacking other people's opinions. It'd be a different story if you weren't clinically insane, dude. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, Jimmy. His head top comes off in the video tomorrow.
I mean, there's one thing to have odd opinions, right? Everybody might have an opinion because you just say, you know what, there's something I see about this one particular fighter. But for the most part, people in the know, people who know this game, usually 90% of the time, we all echo each other's, you know what I mean, sentiments, especially if there's no skin in the game. You don't have love for the fighter. The thing is, he takes this fucking shit so personal, and he clongs onto these guys, and it's fucking live or die. And it gets to the point it's cringeworthy and it's embarrassing. I actually feel sorry for the punk, but I will enjoy watching you fucking crucify him.
I actually find it.
Hey, that's all addressed. Hang on a minute, Boxing Style. That's all addressed in the video tomorrow. I come from all angles. He gets his Deontay Wilder right hand. Trust me, in that video.
Nice, thank you. I can't wait for that.
The Wilder right hand, left hook follows. Low Places on the canvas. But low places, no Tyson Fury. He's not getting up.
Can I say something?
Go on, Boxing Style, and then we're getting on to Jermall Charlo.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Low Place. I think he's kind of mad because we didn't give him credit for his decision. Like he said that Tommy Harrison's gonna take that. I kind of like when I watched this video, I was like, maybe he has a point there. Maybe Tommy Harrison can't pull it off because the Jermall is not really that talented compared to his brother. And Korobov, I didn't know nothing about that dude, but Korobov is you know, like he beat Uzgatagi, and I'm like, maybe he'll give that motherfucker trouble.
That was inexperienced.
That's true. That's true. So I really didn't know, but I'm kind of not surprised with the results.
Yeah, I mean, that's enough for Jermall right now because our guy is sending me sleep talking about him because his performance was horrible. Let's get on to Jermall. Now, this is a fight that a lot of people are claiming was a robbery. Now, what I see of the fight, I didn't see a robbery. I see one man pressing the fight, and I see another man hitting with the cleaner shots. Jermall's head was bouncing back from the jabs. I mean, springing back. So the cleaner work was coming from, and the better boxing was coming from Harrison. But I want to get you guys' opinions on it. What do you recognize? You can start.
I thought. Look, I'm with you, Stu. There was no robbery. I'm not saying that. Maybe I got to go look at that fight again. When I was scoring it as it was happening, I thought that Jermall was pressing the action more. Maybe I was impressed with that. I did see him. I did see the same thing. His head snapping back. Look, Tony Harrison has always been.
Hang on a minute. Recognize. You might. It sounds like you're beating off in the background. What's that noise in the phone?
Sorry, man. I had my thing out. That was
okay.
Disrespectful of me. God damn. If you see what I'm looking at, you would say, I don't blame you. No, I'm just kidding. How about now? Can you hear me?
I hope it's not Jermall Charlo.
No, hell no. I'll kill myself. Anyway, can you hear me now? Is it fine? You don't hear that noise in the background?
Yeah, that's gone now, mate. Yeah, good.
Okay, so I've always thought Harrison is a very good boxer, actually. But I did think it was one of those fights that could have went either way, but I slightly gave it to Jermall. I thought he edged it out slightly. I don't have a problem with the decision. I'm just surprised that the B side on a PBC card, maybe there's something to it, and we got to look at the odds. We got to look at the story behind the scenes, but. I was just a little shocked that the B side got the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, me too.
It's not a robbery. I'll just say that. Yeah.
I think one thing with American judges though, they do like the classier work over the pressure these days. But and that's why I couldn't understand why they were they picked Wilder over Fury. It had to be a clear robbery. This just wasn't fair judging for me. That's how I know that, because usually American judges go for the classic. That's why Floyd wins like every round, even by throwing 4 punches. Do you know what I mean? It's just,
was it reversed? Was it reversed yesterday that said that Adonis Stevenson did a better job? Because I totally agree on that shit.
Yeah, reverse did say that.
I didn't want to even mention that shit, bro. I didn't even want to mention that shit because I already knew what the result was. Adonis just pretty much embarrassed the shit out of the younger Charlo. Completely embarrassed.
I'll tell you what, there's never a moment when boxing style won't get Varnish Martirosian in there.
Bro. I don't know. Motherfucker, bro. You mentioned it a couple of times. This is the one time I'm mentioning him automatically. Like,
yeah, I'm only joking, bro. I want to hear your opinion on the Harrison Jermall Charlo fight. Did you see it?
I saw it. Yeah, I thought it was close, but not like 8-4 or something like I gave to the older brothers fight. I'd give it like maybe 7-5. Maybe if you like biased on Harrison, you give it 8-4, but it's 7-5. 7-5 is
7-5 to
Harrison.
Charlo.
No, to Harrison. Harrison actually was the one with the clearer punches. A lot of Deontay Wilder activity was going on with Jermall Charlo, hitting with the wrist. There was no real clear punches coming from Charlo's side. The most clear punches was coming off of Harrison. And there's only a few close punches that Jermall actually landed. And that was like in the later rounds. You know, Jermall clearly lost that fight, but it was not clearly, but it was like, if you pay attention, you'll see. Because there's a lot of crazy, you know how it is with Wilder fights. It's similar to that. A lot of movement that's not.
So basically you had Harrison winning the fight.
No, I think Matrix said he picked Jermall.
Yeah, I thought no, in the end, I thought Jermall won. I thought little Jermall won the fight.
We've got Kyle in the hangout.
Guys?
What's happening, bro? I'll get back to you in a minute. I just want to hear. I'll just go through the panel and hear their opinion first on the Jermall Charlo fight, and then I'll get to you.
You good?
13 rounds of boxing. Did you watch it, bro?
Yeah, I thought Jermall won 7 rounds to 5. I had it 115-113. I thought Jermall did a good job with the body shots, and I thought he hurt Harrison a couple times. But I thought Harrison had probably the eye-catching punches. But still, I thought Jermall did enough to win. I don't think Harrison did enough to take the belt from the champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, obviously, in the hangout, they've got Jermall winning, but they're all saying 7-5. So when it's 7-5, it's hard to say it's a robbery when there's a round in it, being a draw sort of thing. So it's obviously not robbery, but it's a fight that Charlo should have won. That's what I'm getting from.
In my opinion, absolutely. I think the younger Jermall by a minute, but yeah, regardless, he definitely, in my opinion, won that fight. Harrison, it was kind of a weird fight because Harrison is an excellent boxer, and I did say that last night, so I don't know why Lopez is getting his panties all fucking moist. I said he's an excellent boxer, he's a fucking great jab. He just doesn't. It's almost like he lacks that fighter's heart. Like he doesn't want to get in there and get ugly. And sometimes you have to. But when you start grabbing somebody in the last few rounds, anytime Charlo got close, he would just, catch him and he would just reach out and grab. To me, that I score against that. When you actually stop action by reaching out and just cackling somebody, bear hugging them. I mean, and I can't stand, listen, the rules state you're supposed to get 2 warnings. If you keep hearing to watch the elbow, stop pushing, warn him, make it, hold up your finger, give him a warning, and on the 3rd time, hit him with a point. Refs are so fucking, I mean to go on a tangent about that, but you don't ever see refs fucking pulling points anymore. And you got to take control. And if you want an action
Jimmy, you obviously didn't see Derek Chisora get 2 points taken off.
No, I didn't. I didn't see that fight, bro.
Yeah, that's probably why. He watched for basically nothing. But carry on, bro.
No, I just think he should have been warned. Like, listen, dude, listen, if you're hurt, I'm not going to, you're hurt, you're buzzed, okay, you grab. But when it's a part of your arsenal, you got to be warned. I mean, like, you remember how many times in a fight was Andre Ward warned about grabbing, but they would never take a point from him. Same type of thing, and it just drives me crazy. But yes, Harrison's an excellent boxer, doesn't punch hard enough to fucking be a serious threat. weight class, and I thought he was lucky to get that
I
decision.
thought Harrison's
I wouldn't
punches.
say-
I like boxing style. Hang on a minute. I thought Harrison's punches were very snappy, and they probably look a lot more devastating than they are because they're not really hurting him, but they're snapping his head back because they're quite clean and precise. And I think that's probably what the judges saw. But Kyle, I just want to get you in, bro. Did you see the Jermall Charlo Harrison fight?
I did. Yeah, man, I felt like Harrison was outboxing him for a lot of the time. Of course, Jermall was the aggressor, but man, he was missing a lot of like wild punches. That's my problem with the guy is that he tries too hard for the knockout now. Like ever since he got with Derek James, he's trying to like compete with Errol Spence and stop everybody. And I just feel like the last couple fights he's looked like that every time where he's just fucking missing huge punches. But I think it could have gone either way. Like I had a weird feeling at the end of the fight. I was like, man, they could give this to Harrison, and then they did. So, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Good point.
But yeah,
anyone else? We got battle rifle in the house. Battle rifle. Do you want to give us the opinion of the fight, Jermall Charlo versus Harrison?
Man, I was the only one who called it. I think Corey Lee Boxing. I just came from his channel, and I think he said he was the only person who was probably picking. He said it was an upset alert, but he picked it for who was his name? Korobov to beat Jermall, but that didn't happen. I picked Tony Harrison to beat him. I was the only one. Everybody thought it was crazy, but he actually beat him. In my opinion, it was a robbery. I had Jermall winning of 7-5, but it still showed me. I was like, Jermall, he still struggles in these top 10 fights.
Yeah, can we call a? Sorry, bro, but can we call a fight that's 7-5 in your opinion a robbery? It's one round out of being a draw. I can any 8-4, 7-3. Then yeah.
No, well, the thing is, I really
9-3. Sorry, 8-4, 9-3. Then yeah, but 7-5 is that a robbery?
It's just a weird thing, right? When does it an out and out robbery? I mean, to the person who lost, whether they lost by half a round or by 10, excuse me, it's a robbery. So it is. Yeah. It's a weird terminology. I guess when it's a robbery is when the crowd takes a gasp. When people, I would say, when 9 out of 10 people disagree, regardless of the rounds, just when you just pull the crowd. Who do you put your hands up if you think this person won?
So basically Fury Wilder then.
The thing is, though, Tony Harrison.
Boxing style. Sorry for interrupting again, Matt. I don't mean to keep doing this, but I want to get Battle Rifle on because we interrupted him and I want to let him finish. Sorry, bro. Battle Rifle. Carry on, Boxing style.
Stu, you'd be a good cop.
What's happened? It went all silent. Battle Rifle, go on, bro.
No, I was just saying, man, like the thing is, I was trying to say it for the longest. I'm just, as far as a fighter goes, I know people can improve, and I really try to get people to improve their game. But for the longest, I just know that Jermall is just not as good as his brother. And I knew he struggled in most of his big fights. So I knew that his fight was going to really struggle. And you're going to struggle trying to get that knockout. So I called it for Tony Harrison. So that for the simple fact that Jermall actually got, touched up with Korobov, I expected it. I expected it. I never thought Jermall was just going to go out there and destroy him. I just thought that he would basically get the victory because he would begin to outpoint him once the middle rounds came in, because that's exactly what he did with Austin Trout. So that was my
do you guys actually think that Matt Korobov was a harder fight for Charlo on a week's notice? Let's not forget that. Than Willie Monroe.
Yes,
we can say now. We say now.
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
Did you guys
in hindsight? Yeah.
Fight? I came in.
Sorry, Carl.
You guys already talk about that?
Yeah, you can quickly get your point in if you want to.
Okay, for that fight, man, I saw everybody, like literally everybody, saying how easy of a fight that was. And I guess people don't know about the amateurs or like they don't do their homework. Korobov is no fucking joke, man. Korobov is no joke. He got clipped against Andy Lee. but he was whooping Andy Lee's ass before that. Like, the guy is no joke. I knew that this was going to be a hard fight. And, man, I'm telling you, as soon as I saw Jermall's face in the locker room when his brother lost, he looked like he was about to cry. I'm like, man, he's about to lose if he doesn't bring his game against Korobov. Not to mention,
he actually did cry. Apparently, he actually turned around and went into. Yeah, and we were speaking about it earlier. I don't think it's a good idea to have twin brothers fighting on the same card. I've got twins myself, and even as a father, I would not like to be seeing them both fighting the same night.
Thank you.
Because twins are very close.
I've been tweeting that for 2 years, dude. I've been tweeting they shouldn't have these brothers fighing on the same night. I've been tweeting that for 2 years.
I do believe it did affect Jermall mentally, but that doesn't give him any excuse. He's meant to be a world-class fighter. You're meant to get that out of your head. Your brother's still alive. He's not hurt. It's only a boxing match. And then you got to move on, and he didn't do that. I think he took that into his performance. I actually believe that.
All right, I'm back. Hey, can I say something?
Somebody go on boxing style. Go on.
I was gonna say that there was more clear wins from Harrison's side round-wise than there was for Jermall's side. To me, Tony had more clear rounds. He had like 4 or 5, not 4 rounds for sure that he was clear that he won those rounds. With Jermall was like those rounds that he could give it to him was like maybe he could give it to him, maybe because it was like back and forth.
Yeah, but I'm seeing a lot of people.
There was only 2 rounds that for sure. Then that was the 11th and the 12th round that you could give.
I thought the rounds were really close when it got to the later half. After 7. It was really hard to score, and even then, I know people gave the first round. A lot of people gave the first round to Jermall Charlo. That was kind of like a swing round to me. So I mean, it was weird. It was very, very weird trying to score that fight. I think a different Tony Harrison showed up. I know a lot of people say a different Jermall showed up, but he's always fought in this way, in my opinion, when it comes to top level. So
dude, styles makes fights. Tony Harrison's style was. When Low Place was talking, I'm like, man, he got a point there. I think Tony has a shot to winning, but I was like, I'm surprised that if he wins a decision, that'd be amazing. I didn't think Tony would knock him out. I think maybe Tony can outbox him, but this is not the first time Jermall has been outboxed. Von has outboxed him, and he still lost the fight.
Yeah, he's a good boxer. I wouldn't say Von has outboxed him. I think he just kept flipping him. But as far as well, I guess you could say whatever. But as far as Tony, he was actually outboxing Jarrett Hurd before he got knocked down. So that was the thing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought it was me that was talking to somebody here. Sorry.
No, it's all good. If you want to say something, go ahead.
Oh, well, I was actually talking to somebody here, but no, I would add that about Harrison. He's got good genes. Doesn't he got 2 first cousins who are NFL players? And in the NFL, I thought I read or heard somewhere.
Yeah, I think I heard that. He's from Detroit.
I think you could go to any town in America, throw a fucking rocket in the air, and it's guaranteed to hit an ex-NFL player. I mean, fuck's sake, they're everywhere.
Well, it's weird. It's usually Pittsburgh. It's football's weird. It's a ton of football players come from Pittsburgh, Florida, California, and Texas. Majority. It's crazy, that area. Where I'm in Massachusetts, very few football players, a lot of hockey players, but
I think what we saw last night is that it's going to be a while before Charlos are getting a pay-per-view card for themselves. You know what I mean? Definitely.
I agree. Yeah.
I think it's more of a styles make fights.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying I think it's more of a styles make fights type of thing. Like Jermall, honestly, I've never had high hopes for Mel. I just think that Jermall was better. Like I heard somebody else saying that, and I think Jermall just looks shitty against slick southpaws, man. Like, they blamed it on his eyes against Austin Trout. He got that surgery, and then he looks shitty again against Korobov. And Korobov is good, don't get me wrong, but, like, me, I know you guys might think I'm crazy, but I'll still watch him fight Triple G because that'll be a completely different fight. And the dude he's a monster as far as athletically. Like, he's big as fuck. They're just not as skilled as, like, the best fighters out there. I'd still want to see
the thing about Jermall, he doesn't move his head.
Yeah, it's true. That's what I said. That's the reason why Lemieux knocks him out, bro.
No, hell no.
Those reasons, bro. I'm saying that Lemieux knocks him out because he doesn't move his head. If he does, then different story.
He's
You don't
he's
know his
gonna
head,
he could hit Lemieux from like 4 feet away, bro. Lemieux.
I mean,
have no
Lemieux
faith
is small, taller guys just like him, bro, with heavy hands, and he's
Yeah, like I said, we have to
We'll
take
get to
into
see it. We'll
account.
get to see it.
We have to take into account that Matt Korobov is 35 years old, and he had a week to prepare for this. I mean, if Korobov had even a half decent camp,
No, he had a full camp. He was supposed to be on the undercard.
Yeah, but that don't against who? Against who? Are you telling me he's going to
try
try
a full camp though?
a full camp? Listen, if you're training for Charlo, your training is a lot harder. You train a lot
didn't
better.
Train for Korobov either, though. You know what I'm saying?
No, come on, man. If you're world champion, you should be able to be taken. You shouldn't have to train for someone like you. Should be taking these guys out. The guy's 35 years old, for crying out loud. You're meant to be the boogeyman that's going to take out Canelo Alvarez. I mean, get out of here. Making excuses. At the end of the day, right? The guy is a world. Well, he's meant to be a world level, world champion level. He's chasing everyone. He's meant to be the boogeyman, the monster. He should be going through Korobov like a doorway. Yeah, he's in there hanging around for 12 rounds, struggling and losing on most people's cards. So I'm not having that about he prepared. So I mean, at the end of the day, he was the main bill. He's the main man of the card. How many champions do you see that someone pulls out and they have to fight some fucking guy that's well below on the list, and they still get the job done? So there's no excuse.
And that's another thing that was on Fox. He had an opportunity. That was free premium TV. You know what I mean? One of the 4 major networks. He had an opportunity to put it on, right? I would have said, "Fuck it, He should have just went for it. He should have just made it dirty, got in and fought.
What would have happened?
At least made it right. Want people to see him again. Say even if he, we won the fight, whatever. Even if he took a decision, split decision, unanimous decision. You know what I mean? Like truly beat him. What the fuck? Did you? How many people, especially casuals, left that fight or watch it and said, "Oh, I can't wait to see him fight again"? You know what I mean?
What would have happened if Triple G would have fought Korobov, last minute replacement, a guy who hasn't fought in maybe he's had one fight in 2 years, and he would have went the distance in a fight that some people thought he lost. What would be the narrative right now?
That might have happened though. If you know the history, that might have happened. They fought in the
listen. I kind of agree with you that I don't go by your one fight performance. I really don't go by that. I go more by your resume. And I said, look, Charlo would have lost against Canelo or Triple G. All I could go is by that performance. That performance last night against Triple G or Canelo in their last fight, he can't compete with that.
Can I just address Kyle? Korobov was training for an 8-round fighter against a bum. How can you say that he's prepared for Charlo, a 12-round title fight with the boogeyman? I mean, come on, man. I mean, my question is, if Korobov had a proper training camp for Charlo, would it have been even more convincing for Korobov?
Because because you have different sparring partners. If he was, he would have been probably sparring, taller guys with that type of. You try to, match or, mirror the guy you're going to fight. So it does make a big difference. Plus mindset, fighting a world champion 12 rounds, and especially a boogeyman who's supposed to be dropping everybody.
Korobov gets knocked out by Triple G if that was the case. If the Charlo's situation was switched to Triple G.
That fighter last night, yeah, he gets slept.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, he gets
slept. Not even a question.
I know Charlo fans, that hurts their feelings, that gets into the belly of their stomach. No, he gets put to sleep, man. There's nothing in that performance that tells me that this is not, for me, it's not about, who I like and who I don't like. Charlo is a good fighter, but last night's Charlo, look how many times he was getting hit, bro. This Triple G is much better than Korobov at the pro levels, okay? I don't want to hear about their amateur fights and what they did against each other in the amateurs. Obviously, in the pro levels, Golovkin has done much more than Korobov has.
Yeah.
I mean, Korobov has basically been neutralized since he got knocked out by Andy Lee.
Korobov never changed his style.
We talk about Canelo as well. I mean, the way Canelo throws his shots and puts them together, very smart fight, technically superb when he's throwing his hands. I mean, you look at Charlo swinging them wild shots and wide hooks, and Canelo Alvarez would take Charlo's head off. I don't care.
Canelo Alvarez breaks the body of Charlo.
You guys think we'll see it now or what?
No,
I mean, Charlo's,
because of the networks.
Charlo's going to have to listen. Charlo and his people are going to have to accept they're the C side in this situation. They're the D side. They're the F side. They're the, you get what I'm trying to say. Whatever Canelo wants that's the only way the fight's going to happen. I don't think they're ready to do that, especially after the performance that they gave. So I don't think it's happening next. No, for sure.
Would you think, though, that Canelo's saying, like, oh, he looked like shit, so not like I could take him out easy? Because that's – come on, why wouldn't Triple G –
I could see that.
If Triple G wanted a rematch with Canelo, wouldn't he be like, oh, all I got to do is beat this guy to get back to Canelo? Let me go do that real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of think that's going to happen sooner than you guys think. I don't think Triple G's going to shy away from it at this point.
I think Golovkin has to take the fight, Kyle. I agree. I don't think Golovkin has got too many options, to be honest with you. I mean, Canelo 3 is off the cards right now because nobody is calling for it. You're going down the list, the options are not really there for him at the moment. So I'd like to see him get in there with Charlo. I'm just not convinced that the team Heyman will be looking for that.
He'd have to probably sign a couple of fight deal with Heyman.
You would.
Most likely.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that fight. I'm more interested in him fighting Caleb Smith, man. That's a fight that I know he's going to win for sure now.
That'd be a great fight, man.
Also, but you guys mentioned Lemieux earlier. I have a hard time believing he's ever going to fight at middleweight again.
He won't.
Yeah, I think he's going to be seeing 168 if he fights again at all.
I mean, we can get back. I just want to change the topic up quickly. We get back to the Charlos afterwards, but I want to move on because I don't want to neglect the fight of the night. And just because they're the smaller guys, it don't mean we're not going to talk about them, because I thought that it was a superb fight, and I thought Josh Warrington was outstanding. I mean, that is a fighter that if you haven't got the punching power to take people out, you're not Floyd Mayweather on the back foot. You have to find a way to win, and he's got a style that can win in fights.
Wait a minute.
It's a tough style to fight because you have to be really fit, and you're going to take a lot of shots. But
wait a minute. Warrington and Frampton was a better fight than Chisora and Whyte.
Much better. Do you know anything about boxing stuff?
No, I know. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like the fight ended up being better than the other fight.
The knockout was unbelievable.
Bro, you're getting trolled in the chat as it is, man.
I haven't actually seen the Warrington fight with Frampton, so I can't.
I haven't seen it either, Stu. I'm gonna catch it later.
Sorry, Boxer. I thought you were saying. Oh, you saying that? I thought you'd seen them both. You were saying Chisora.
No. I haven't seen it. I know that.
Yeah, he was asking you. That's what I thought he was asking you too. And at first, I'm like, oh shit. Okay, don't ask Stu questions.
No, because like I said, I thought.
No, I know. At first, I thought that too. I thought that's what he was doing. I'm just busting balls. But I didn't see that fight yet either. I was gonna watch that tonight. Sorry,
if you're in America.
Well, that was on BT Sports. I think ESPN had it because I remember tuning into a video because I missed it on the night because I went out, sort of thing, and I remember seeing an ESPN video with Kellerman talking over the Warrington fight, and they really enjoyed it. They said, "Well, great." Josh Warrington was superb. And I was wondering if any of you other guys have seen it because it don't look like anyone's seen the fucking fight.
Wait, Dad, Kellerman called it?
Yeah, Matt Kellerman was on ESPN calling that fight. So,
oh God in heaven, what the fuck?
That's precious.
No, I have to catch that fight too.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch
curious.
it.
It was a tremendous fight. The first round, I mean, Warrington just came out and put it on Frampton. Warrington beat Frampton up. I'm telling you. And me and Del Boy actually said in the last show that when the fight was made, we were all for Frampton. But as the fight gradually got nearer and nearer, I started to go towards Warrington. And then I looked back, I had a look at the Selby fight again. And I just like the work Warrington did. Josh Warrington is going to be a very difficult man to beat because he holds a tremendous shot. He's as fit as a fiddle. I mean, he can throw shots for 12 rounds. He throws hundreds of shots. He throws combinations in 5 and 6. He's quite clever getting inside as well. He uses his jab to get inside. He's just not, bombing forward and getting caught with straight hands. Do you know what I mean? Straight rights. He's fucking a good fighter, and it's going to take some beating. I'd like to see him in with Valdez next. I think that'd be a cracker, and I think he can beat Valdez. But so none of you guys actually saw the fight then, so.
Nope.
I mean, if we haven't seen it, let's talk about Chisora and Whyte. Because that shit was a hell of a fight. I enjoyed it. I picked the last minute, I picked Chisora to win by late stoppage because of how it ended up with Whyte and Parker. last time around. But it turned out the other way around as Whyte caught him. But I think those points that they removed off of him was bullshit, man. Those points was what the reason why he got demoralized and his momentum went down, and then he got caught with that left hook. It was ridiculous because Chisora was winning that
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. We're talking about Chisora Whyte.
Yeah, I mean, like
we're getting on to that in a minute. We haven't finished with Frampton yet. Well, fuck me. Are you the host here?
Nobody's talking about that. Nobody watched it.
You got to read a comment out. Fucking hell. I was just about to read a comment out. As in the chat said, anyone that watches Warrington Frampton is a casual. Because basically, if you're a hardcore fan, you watch Chisora Whyte. I mean, I don't know if I agree with that. I think if you're a hardcore boxing fan, you go by skills, and let's not compare the skills from that fight to Whyte Chisora, because that was just a slugfest.
That is true.
So go on, boxing style. We'll swap. We'll go on to your fight. You know,
I was saying that Chisora did a hell of a job until the very end, where he got demoralized by that 2-point deduction. He got, like, you could see in his face. I mean, when they deducted those points, he was not the same anymore. And then he got clipped and it was over. It was a psychological thing.
Just quickly, do you actually think? I just want to get back onto the last one on topic quickly. Do you guys quickly? I just want to get your opinions quickly, and then we'll move on. Do you think Frampton's finished now? Is it done? What's next for Carl Frampton? Because I forgot to ask that question.
Did he get stopped?
My opinion.
He got beat up, mate. Just put it this way: he got dominated. You have to watch the fight. It was a really exciting fight. It was a great fight, but he couldn't cope with Warrington's constant pressure, and that's what Warrington does. I said it before. He snatches hearts. He doesn't knock you out. He snatches hearts, and that's what happened. Well, if you look at Frampton's face, it looks like he's been hit by a truck. But I want to know if you guys.
Well, I said last night on the show that I think Frampton's done. I think he was, as you know, Stu. I've heard you say this. Minute a fighter starts talking about retirement, he's already done. Mentally, he's already checking out. And he was talking about it 2 years ago after the first Leo Santa Cruz fight. He was disenchanted with everything, the way the rematch didn't go down. And then he said it again after the fight. After that, he said, "Yeah, it's probably be the last." And so usually when a fighter starts talking like that, his mind's already out of it. So he's made his money. Why hang around at this point? Anything you're doing now, you're just taking time away from your grandkids.
Yeah. I just want to quickly read some comments on that fight, and then we'll move on. Shepherdson, he beat Frampton up. He's talking about Warrington. Neto 17251. Mara should be fighting Frampton, Tank, Machado, or Burchell. It's not. Gypsy boxing style. Chisora got demoralised by them points being deducted. Let's see I want Frampton comments really. Overhand, Warrington bullied Frampton. Yeah, he did. Jay Perez, Warrington is a kind of a small Kawasaki. That's a great comparison. That is. I'm not sure he's as skilled as Kawasaki, but he's definitely that sort of fighter where just the work rate is insane, and you can't just. Frampton likes to fight at his own pace. Taking his time, pushing out the jab, and strolling around. You can't do that, Warrington. And I think that's what Frampton's problem is. I mean, Warrington came to fight, and he just didn't have it in his tank to cope with the pressure. I think he's done, to be honest with you. I don't think there's a place for Frampton at the top in the featherweight. I've said it from day one. The minute he moved up to featherweight, he was going to start getting L's. He's just not big enough. He got bullied by Warrington. He couldn't cope with the range of Santa Cruz because he looked like Santa Cruz looked like a middleweight in there against him. Just couldn't, especially in the second fight. I mean, obviously the first fight he won, but the second fight couldn't cope with the range. Couldn't cope with Warrington's pressure. I think he's done. I agree with Jimmy. I just don't see the hunger in him anymore. But let's go back to the question. Jay Perez, Warrington is kind of small Kaz. I read that one. Sorry, work rate's crazy. If Warrington read that, let's move on. That's it now. Chisora, Dillian Whyte. Recognised. We've not heard from you. Recognised. Did you see that fight?
Yeah, I caught it last night. God damn. I thought you saw he was winning again before he got knocked out. I thought he was winning the fight. It was close, but I'm pretty comfortable saying that he was winning the fight for the first, what was it? He knocked him on the 10th round or the 11th round.
Yeah,
I wasn't scoring it like that, but I just the
Yeah.
feeling to me was Chisora was winning the fight.
Vicious left hook. I mean, do you think the 2 points deducted made a difference to Chisora's mindset, shall we say?
I don't know. I mean, it could have. I'm not gonna say that. I just thought that, man, he has bad defense. We know that, right? But god damn, he was just not prepared. It's hard to see somebody that not, being so unprepared when you've been fighting the guy for the last 10 rounds or 9 rounds, whatever it was. What round did he knock him out? The 11th, excuse me. It was the 11th round.
11th.
Yeah, so you fought him for 10 rounds, and you managed to not get caught by that fucking shot. And then he caught him with one of those, he iced him in the later rounds, which usually guys get iced like that in the early rounds. I thought it was just a devastating knockout, man.
Yeah.
And his reaction when he hit the floor. Did you see him like wake up, kind of, and then just fell back to sleep?
That left hook's a problem. I don't care what anyone says. If that was Wilder taking that left hook, he'd still be asleep now.
Yeah,
he'd be asleep now still. That left hook's a big problem. But I didn't like Dillian Whyte saying, he was taking his time, sticking to the game plan. You're down on the cards and it's the 11th round. How much time do you fucking need? I mean, this is what I mean about these fighters, sticking to game plans. These trainers are so far up their own arse, they think they can come out with this specialist game plan that they draw up overnight, and it's going to make them look good. And sometimes you have to tell the trainers, basically, do a Chris. Not all the time, but sometimes you need to go in there and do your own thing, because trainers like to stick with these game plans. It could have cost Dillian Whyte a lot of money.
Listen. Honestly, Dillian Whyte looked way bigger than the last fight that he had. I don't know. They fucking looked like AJ in there. I don't know what was up with his whatever he was taking or whatever he was doing. That motherfucker looked huge, and he was getting outboxed. He only won maybe up to the knockout. He only won maybe 2 or 3 rounds. Chisora surprisingly was making him miss. I was like surprised. Maybe he learned a few tricks from Hay. He was making him miss a lot of shots. He was making him miss and making him pay. And he landed some good, solid shots on his chin. And granted, I'm surprised with White's chin. It held up.
He's got a good decent chin.
Yeah, he held up. And then when those points got deducted, what happened was, since Whyte is the A side, I think Chisora got afraid that once it goes to decision, because he looks like he ain't gonna be able to knock him out. He put on the steamroll just to get him out of there in the 11 and 12 round, and he got caught with that shit. If he was, if he was okay with there was no points deducted, it would have been a totally different fight probably, because he wouldn't be.
He did say before the fight that he was worried that he'd get robbed on the cards. So when the 2 points came off, then he must have panicked. But Jimmy, I want to get your opinion, bro, quickly, because I need to keep getting through these guys. Jimmy, you there?
Yes, sir.
Chisora, Dillian Whyte 2. Did you see it?
I just caught I was only able to watch the last round. I had it recorded, but so I watched the knockout. So I can't really comment on the whole fight. I just saw the devastating knockout.
Yeah, devastating, wasn't it? I mean, that left hook it's a serious problem.
Oh yeah,
one of the best left hooks in the game, really. Dillian Whyte, when he gets it right. I mean, it's what the way he disguised it. I mean, he sort of like crouched down like he was going down to hold, and then just come flying up with his.
Hear it all the time, right? It's the punch you don't see coming that hurts the most.
And I tell you what, Derek Chisora's got a fucking very good chin. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's only been knocked out by a prime David Hay. That was on steroids. And a Dillian Whyte left hook. So he's got a very solid chin. Kyle, go on, bro. Did you see the fight?
Well, yesterday I was with my kids all day, so it was like an on and off type of thing. Man, I thought Chisora looked good in the beginning, but Whyte just looked so much more relaxed to me. Like when I think someone just said he was I didn't see like the post fight or anything like that, but they said that he was staying composed, sticking to the game plan. That's what it looked like to me. I mean, he was hitting him with a nice pull counter, countering Chisora's jab a few times every round. I think it was a good fight. And I don't know. I felt like Chisora was going to either gas in the later rounds or just get hit with something nasty. Like I just felt like Whyte was the more composed fighter throughout the fight. Like he had a plan, you know what I'm saying? But Chisora looked good too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
The fucked up thing is I missed the knockout. I missed the fucking knockout, dude. I went to go chase my daughter somewhere, and I turned around and the fight's over. So y'all gonna have to tell me about that.
It was a sleeper. It was a sleeper. It just the weight that Dillian Whyte put behind it. I don't know how heavy Dillian Whyte is, but even if he's 17 stone, 17 and a half stone, you can guarantee 17 and a half stone was behind that punch. I mean, it took Chisora's lights out. I mean, and Chisora's got a very good chin. So Dillian Whyte's a problem. Very, very limited with his technique, but he's just. It's just his will to win. This is the thing. When you're fighting someone that's got just an incredible desire and will to win, then they're always a problem, especially when that can punch. So I think Dillian Whyte can hang around with everyone. Whether he can beat the top guys is another thing, but he's deserved his shot. But I want to ask 13 rounds what he thought.
Yeah, Dillian Whyte. I mean, we know he can carry his punch, you know, all the way to 12 rounds. But I had a feeling too, like Chisora was gonna get knocked out in the later rounds because he was getting a little sloppy. You know, props to Dillian Whyte. I guess he's got another ticket for Anthony Joshua to get knocked out again. So, you know, I think that's what Eddie Hearn is going to try to push is Joshua Whyte. If Wilder and Joshua doesn't get made, I think that's where he's looking at, or Big Baby in Brooklyn, one or the other. Yep. So that's what I just think.
Well, I think we
on,
saw
Jake.
why Wilder didn't want to fight him. You know what I mean? But I thought Wilder didn't want nothing to do with Whyte. He was, making excuses. Now you see why. Too much of a problem for the money.
Yeah, and
too much of a risk.
Yeah, Dillian Whyte, he did look he looked a lot bulkier, than the first fight. I don't know what he's taken, or I don't know if they had VADA testing for this fight or what.
Rounds. I ain't the only one who saw this shit.
Yeah, I seen it too, boxing style. Yep, I did. I seen it. It's visibly.
I'm not saying he wasn't taking junk, but one thing about heavyweights, they can change their body style somewhat because they're not, you know what I mean? There's no targeted weight. They don't have to diet down. So did he come in heavier than, say, his previous fights?
I do not know that one.
Yeah, I was just wondering.
But then again, Chisora said he was going to come in lighter, so that might have been like a counter effect. So, but I mean, still, there was something about that fool, though. Either way.
Yeah.
What about Dominic Brazil, Whyte?
Well, I just want to stick to this one first, and we'll get on to Brazil.
No, I was saying, would Whyte? What about that fight? What about Whyte? Would that be a good fight, Stu?
Well, I was just going to ask that question.
Shut up.
Where do you guys want Dillian Whyte to go next? Do you want to see Joshua too? Because I'm not really calling for that fight too much, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I know the fans cheered when Joshua asked, but that was Dillian Whyte fans cheering, sort of thing. So, what do you guys think? Where do you want to see Dillian Whyte next? Jimmy, go on. Jimmy.
Yes, I was thinking. I don't know, probably Brazil. Brazil didn't look good last night. I mean, he was just out there, not in very good shape, just looking to KO that dude. Yeah. I mean, he was being outboxed, but he's obviously got crazy power. So I think that he carries enough weight in his name. I mean, who else right now? Whyte is, no matter what people think of him, he doesn't get a lot of love here in the States, but he's done what he's had to do, right? He's winning. He's knocking people out. So it's exciting. So, I think Brazil right now on this side of the country, really, it's not – and we don't have many heavyweights right now. So I would probably say Brazil Whyte. I'd like to see that next because at least it can be made, I would think.
Well, I think Dillian Whyte said he'd be prepared to take the Baby Miller fight. He's not looking at Brazil, but I think he said he'd take the Baby Miller fight just to shut him up. But he's looking. He wants Wilder and Joshua. He's not mentioned Fury for some reason. I mean, I don't know if it's because he thinks he'll probably get schooled. I wouldn't
be surprised if Wilder and AJ happens next year on April.
Well, if I was running his career, I wouldn't have him say anything about Fury because I would imagine Fury must be like on big time status right now over in the UK, right? Everybody's probably people in his corner, happy for him. So
did you see see the Joshua, the other side of Anthony Joshua in that interview? We saw the nasty side of him come out, the humble guy. You know, he wasn't there that day because he got wound up. He was getting booed in the crowd. Dillian Whyte came at him when he tried to be quite polite to Dillian Whyte, and I think it rolled his feathers. And I want, well, you know, I'd like to have shown you that video, but I don't have to do it on it because I'm not usually the
Anthony
host.
Joshua, I can tell he's a mean dude.
Nasty side to you. He's got a nasty.
Yeah, if he wants to be. If that camera wasn't around, I think that's the kind of guy that gets into fights all the time.
I think the reason why they're booing him is because he's going for Wilder instead of for Fury. That's the reason why. Because Fury's gonna outbox the shit out of him if they fight. I guarantee you.
I don't
It's
know.
ugly, man. It's gonna be
I don't
ugly.
know about that.
It's gonna be ugly.
I think that's a timing situation. I think Joshua beats Fury, honestly.
I don't think so, bro. I think
Yeah, I think
if he was getting toughed up,
I
if
agree
he
with
was
you,
getting
Kyle.
touched up,
I
if
think
he ain't
Joshua beats
go-
him.
look, if he's getting touched up by Klitschko the way he was, and he was having a hard time hitting Klitschko.
Yeah, but
and-
that's Klitschko though.
I mean,
Fury can't fight Wilder. Fury can't fight Joshua as negative as he did against Wilder. I just don't. If he fights as negative as he did against Wilder, where he didn't, you know, when he had his moments to shine, he never took them. When he had his moments, he's gonna have to do that. When you hurt Joshua, you have to jump on him. You can't let him recover because when you do that, what happens to Vladimir Klitschko happens, where the next minute you're sleeping. So when you're fighting guys like Joshua and Wilder, you have to take your moments when you have them. And what Fury for me didn't do that. Fury won the fight. And I've sat here and moaned about the decision for many months, for a month now. Do you know what I mean? It was disgusting. But at the end of the day, he can't fight like that against Joshua because I just got a feeling that Joshua will land one eventually. So
Joshua's offense is much more well-rounded. His punch is much better than Wilder's, bro.
Yeah, they're not as telegraphed.
He's gonna walk into Fury and he's gonna knock Fury out, bro.
Which makes it much more easier than for Fury because he is more
Fury's not knocking him out.
Conservative fighter. He's more of a conservative fighter. Makes it a hell of a lot more easier for Fury to handle. Because when Fury said that Wilder's gonna be his toughest test, he wasn't really joking around about that shit because Wilder comes with punches that you don't see coming. It's fast and unpredicted. Like you can't rehearse that shit. Like you can't have somebody that's gonna do the same shit like Wilder's gonna do. So
Wilder's punches are unpredictable. Are you mad? I could see them from the TV in my house.
Man, some of the punches he throws.
Come on, man. They're telegraphed. They're wide. If you can't get out, all right. When he throws that straight right, I agree. It's dangerous and it comes with a bit of pop and it comes with pace. Yeah, but when he's looping them windmills and get out of here.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. He throws this wild shit.
Well,
it only takes one to land, bro. It only takes one to land. With AJ, it's more of a conservative fight. When he has like moments where he would explode and then he won't explode, and that would be like an easy thing for Fury to catch. Like he'd be like, "Oh, this is the time he's gonna throw that shot. This is when he's just gonna outbox the shit out of him for 12 rounds." I'm not gonna say he's gonna stop him because I think AJ has the chin on him, so I don't think he's gonna be able to do that. But he'll go 12 rounds with him and box the shit out of him. Maybe get robbed at the end. You never know.
You never know. No, I'm not discrediting that because Fury has the chance to win that fight for me. It's a 50-50 fight for me, definitely. I mean, any of you guys want to elaborate more on this triangle of heavyweights we've got? I know Jimmy mentioned Dominic Brazil, but I mean, if you want to talk about that fight, we can. But it's just one fight that I was interested in, to be honest with you.
I'd like to see Dillian Whyte against Jermall Miller, Big Baby.
Yeah, this is the fight.
I like to see that too, man.
You know, because they both want Joshua, and they're always, talking smack on.
At this point, I think
on ITV and stuff. So might as well.
Have you seen Baby Miller's videos? Go and look on the videos and look at the like and the dislike bars.
Yeah,
this guy.
I've seen those.
His ratio of dislikes are probably 4 to 1. Do you know what I mean? This guy is becoming quickly the most hated man in boxing.
I agree. Yeah,
he just looks like he's gonna have a heart attack one day in the ring.
I think he's quite a nice guy, Gerald. I actually think Jared Miller is quite a nice guy. He's a good character. I just think he's so delusional. He's talked so much shit.
No, he's good for boxing. He's good for boxing. He's good for heavyweight boxing. But
when he's not trolling fighters and trolling Brits, he is quite a funny guy. And I think he's good for boxing, but he's just so delusional, chats so much shit. I mean, this
Yeah,
guy
he
thinks he talks about people deserving their, earning their right to fight him. I mean, come on, this guy, who's he for?
Nobody.
Exactly. And then he's talking about earning your right to fight me. Come on, get out of it. What about the other clown you fought last week? Did he earn his right?
No.
Delusional. How do you see what Dillian Whyte, Barrett, Baby Miller going anyway, if that fight happened? Let's go through the panel and talk about that one.
Who's going first?
Not you.
Recognize. Go first.
All right.
Recognize, go on.
Okay, I'll say Miller beats him. Miller has more gas tank than Chisora does. Miller has more.
You mean Whyte, right?
No, Miller. Miller over Whyte. Is that what it is, right?
Yeah.
The fight. Yeah,
Chisora.
I think Miller beats.
Right, I've just actually used my mute button for the first time. I've used my mute button for the first time.
Hey man, I like Whyte. I'm just looking at it. I'm just looking at it the way I see it. I'm not saying that Miller is not a coward. Miller is a coward.
Listen. Oh, hang on a second. Where's that mute button again? Give it.
Oh, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
There you go. Muted again. The reason I muted is not because of your opinion, because I said I didn't want to hear from you next. I wanted to hear from Recognize, and you still butted in on Recognize.
Yeah,
so
I didn't hear you, bro. I didn't hear you.
Listen, this mute button, you should be allowed to just keep it on mute. He should be allowed to unmute himself, but unfortunately he can't. But Recognize, go on, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You're so rude, boxing style, whatever you call your name these days.
Yeah, you don't do much for the Armenian community with your manners.
Yeah, exactly.
I was going to go to an Armenian restaurant the other day, but I thought if they're all like boxing style, they're only going to be rude. They're not going to be a good service.
Yeah, and I went to an Armenian restaurant and I never got served because everybody kept talking.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
I said, sir, can I get let me finish? Hey, fuck this. I'm leaving. No, I got Dillian Whyte beating Dillian Whyte beating Jermall Miller. That was the question, right? So yeah, I think he would win. I still like to see it. I would love to see that fight happen. I want to see if Big Baby can hold these bigger shots from these 315.
It's just a press conference as well. I mean, it's going to be.
Oh yeah, there'll be a fight there.
There's a fireworks. Because one thing about Baby Miller and Dillian Whyte, they're not backing down from any man, and they're just not going to back down. So it's going to be fireworks, just the build up. That's definitely a fight that I'll stick my money in my pocket to watch. I prefer that's a much better fight than Chisora, definitely. Kyle, what do you think?
I haven't given that fight much thought. I think Big Baby Miller is he's like the little engine that could, even though he's a big fat motherfucker. Like I feel like nobody's stopping him, and he doesn't. I feel like he has a really deep gas tank, honestly. So I don't know. That'd be an interesting fight. I think they'll beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, it's a very interesting fight. 13 rounds. Did you agree with what Kyle said?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what he said, and I just need to see Big Baby fight at least one legitimate heavyweight before he fights Anthony Joshua. Just one. I just want to see him fight just one. I need to see because I think he has a granite chin, but I'm not 100% positive. And I don't know. Honestly, I do not know who would win that fight. That I could see either one pulling that off. I really don't know.
I think Baby Miller. I think Baby Miller was, like I said before on the shows before, I think he was a kickboxer, a heavyweight kickboxer. And I think if you've never been knocked out in your career in a boxing ring or a kickboxing ring, and when you get some of them kicks to the fucking head, mate, they sleep you for days, never mind a few seconds. And he hasn't been knocked out. I'm convinced that Baby Miller's got a good chin. It's going to take a hell of a lot to knock him out. He's going to go with a lot of punches. It's going to be an accumulation of punches. It's not going to be one left hand. Yeah, it's not going to be that Dillian Whyte left hand hurt him, but I don't think it's going to sleep him like that Chisora shot sort of thing. I might be wrong. It might land and Baby Miller's out cold, but I don't see anything in Baby Miller to convince me that he's vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those people like Triple G that claims to have never been even hurt. So I mean, I kind of believe it. I don't know. That's just me.
I tell you what, if Big Baby can take a shot. I think he could beat Deontay Wilder. If he could take like a Wilder shot, I think he can beat Wilder just because of his volume. You know.
Yeah, in the chat, Dillian Whyte was also a kickboxer, so we have to take that into account. I forgot about that. I'm not sure about his record of being knocked out kickboxing, but I do know he was asleep when Anthony Joshua gave him an uppercut. So we do know that guy goes to sleep, and I haven't seen that from. Obviously, Dillian Whyte has fought Joshua. Miller hasn't yet, so we've got to take that into account. But that's definitely a fight, obviously, for the bill. You know, because there has to be other fights made. We can't just keep it in the triangle, because if we rely on Wilder, Joshua, and Fury to fight each other, then we're going to be waiting a while, I think, because none of them are talking like either of them wants it. I know Joshua's stepping up saying he wants it now, but only after all the boos and all the stick he's getting. He could have took that fight beforehand, and, you know.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. But we've got onto that. I mean, we can get back onto the Charlos quickly before we call it a day. You know, got a little while left before I go to sleep. So if you want to talk about random boxing, the Charlos, if you want to get back onto another fight, the David Price fight, if you really want to talk about that, I'm not sure anyone on this planet wants to talk about it. But
Price had a fight.
I missed it.
Price stopped somebody, didn't he? He won.
Yeah, I missed it. Apparently, it was a premature stoppage with Tom Little, but I missed
that means you know what's going to happen. He's going to get a title shot.
Yeah. Well, look, someone mentioned David Price, Derek Chisora on the undercard of a. You can because you know what Eddie Hearn like. He likes to recycle fighters. He does. He likes to recycle. I mean, because Chisora is going to be hard to sell now. 9 defeats. I mean, you're getting into journeyman mode now, aren't you? Anyone there?
What was the question? I missed it.
No, I just said the journeyman mode. When you think, where's Derek Chisora going to go, really? Apart from that, because he's got 9 defeats. I mean, it's getting into journeyman mode now, isn't it? When you've got 9 defeats. I can understand if you've got 9 defeats on your record when you've had 7 fights, but this guy, 30 fights, if that.
Yeah, it's hard to recover from that knockout. That was devastating.
Unless this fight, if this fight with Whyte, you know, damaged him that much, then you're probably right. But I think he looked pretty good, at least from what I saw in the Whyte fight. He looked like he could still give people some problems. I don't know. But, you know, he could be fucked now. Who knows?
Another fight?
Has he been stopped like that before?
No.
Yeah, David. Yeah, David Hayes.
I mean, David Hayes dropped him in the fight. Was he counted out, or the ref just stopped the fight?
No, he was flat on his face.
Yeah, but
I think the Dillian Whyte was probably a worse knockout, to be honest.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a devastating KO. I mean,
David Hayes owned Chisora in Chisora's prime, though. I give him that. He beat him up outside the ring and inside.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, with the David Price Chisora thing, I actually think Chisora will knock David Price out. Even though I'm talking about Chisora in the journeyman mode now, he still knocks David Price out. So it's one of them recycled fights that Hearn will try and put together, no doubt, but not interested really. Someone in the chat said David Price is going to end up getting killed in the ring. I mean, terrible thing to say.
Damn.
And talking about that, actually, before getting to that, I think I'm hearing Adonis Stevenson is awake. Is that true? Quickly.
He's awake.
He's awake now. Is he? Is he okay or what?
Well, I mean, from what I heard was that that he's up, that he woke up from the coma.
Well, that's good news. That's good news. Like I said, no matter what sort of guy he is, no one wants to see a death.
Now, the question is, did he suffer any brain damage from that?
That's the thing.
The next question.
We don't know, do we? We don't know that. No. But yeah, we'll get back to Price because I don't want to be morbid and talk about Stevenson right now. I mean, I know in the low place video, I called him Adonis Stevenson just to get a low place, but obviously I'd found out that he was awake, sort of thing. I wouldn't have said that if I didn't know that, but it is what it is. You know me. But yeah, Price Chisora. Any more comments on that?
No, not really.
No, but I like to make a change. I think Whyte will win. My bad. I picked Miller. I'll go with Whyte for that one.
Yeah, that's a 50-50 fight, really.
It's kind of hard to say, but I'm looking at like some of the fights that Miller had, and he got hit by like nobodies, and he was rocked. I'm like, if that was Whyte, that you would have been in the world of pain.
He was rocked.
Yeah, there was a couple of fights where he was fighting nobodies that he kind of like, not really rock, but like felt it, backed up off the fucking, he went to the ropes and shit, kind of. Not really, like not completely to the ropes, not the whole round, but like a few seconds on the ropes. I mean, like if that was like Whyte, bro, he's just gonna fuck you up. Why would this? Yeah, so I'll probably go with Whyte.
Apparently in the chat, sorry, Boxing Style. Apparently in the chat, they're saying that Stevenson is awake and is okay. So the brain damage is not too bad, apparently. So that's what the comments are saying in the chat. So we definitely won't be seeing him in a boxing ring again. But at least Low Place is not going to commit suicide and start bubbling again. So that's one good thing. And is anyone seeing Low Place in the chat? Because I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing his name mentioned. Like people are responding to it, but I'm not seeing him. I'm hoping he's not blocked me, so I can't time his ass out. Because BDA,
you have no idea how much Low Place did prayers every day. He was praying, bro, every day. And Adonis finally woke up.
Hey man, that's his favorite fighter. If that's how he feels. Hey, listen, man. Some people feel connected to these people. Look, I don't. Not that I want bad things to happen to dudes, to these fighters, but I don't feel that sorry for them because a fight is a fight. Anytime a fight happens, inside the ring, outside the ring, you know that there's a chance that you're taking. These guys are very good with their hands and they make money for it. I'm sure Stevenson knows that there's always that shot. There was always that one time, you just don't take the hit right and it rattles your brain and could have killed you,
Be honest, Matrix. Would you do the same thing for AJ?
Of course.
Just joking.
AJ made millions, man. He's fine. If he gets killed, not that I'm gonna be like, fuck him, he got killed. No, it's not that. It's just like this is the result of fighting. When you get into fights, man, people get hurt bad. It happens all the time.
Yeah. Serious game, boxing. It's a serious game. When you get trained athletes,
I used to work as a bouncer.
Punch you in the chin.
Stu, I'm sorry about it, but I used to work as a bouncer. You know how many guys I've seen get beat up to the point where they're having seizures? Like they're getting beat up for free.
Yeah.
They like having a seizure.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, I know what you guys talking about. I've seen it firsthand.
And the guy wanted to fight. That's the thing. The guy that was having the seizure, he wanted to fight. He was like, fuck this. Let's go.
Well, my mate, I don't know if you remember that story about my friend. He's a super middleweight. He's had 4 fights unbeaten. And this guy was huge. I mean, he looked like fucking Shannon Briggs. Honestly, this guy, he was going mad, took his top off to start in trouble. And my mate said, I'm going to hit this cunt in a minute. And I was like, no, leave it. Next minute, this guy's come stolen over, shouting. My mate's hit him once with one left hook. He was on the floor shaking. I mean, just one left hook. I mean, what people don't realize is boxers train to punch every day. I mean, they know technically how to knock your head off. And
it ain't just that. If you just hit the right place at the right time,
But it was just so clean. It was so clean. It went pop. When he threw the shot, it just went pop. You could hear the cleanness of it. And mate, he was sleeping on the camp. Well,
you guys know that if there's a specific time where if you hit the chest, it's hard to get. But if you hit the chest at that time with a specific amount of force, you could kill the man.
Let me tell you something. I would recommend.
I mean, it's hard. Its heart will literally stop, and it's actually happened in sports.
I would recommend to everybody on the panel. Go home, buy a punching bag, hit it, start hitting it 500 times a day. I guarantee you will fuck most people up on the streets. You make them have a seizure.
Bro, don't fight in the streets. Don't even.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying start the fight. I'm saying if you have to. That's a difference.
Yeah. To be fair, he's right. When I was doing a lot of boxing training, in my younger days, for fitness, and I enjoyed it. And when I was doing a lot of that, I mean, when I did get in fights, they were over quite quickly, some of them. Do you know what I mean? And that's down to learning to punch on a bag, and there's technique behind it. You can't just swing your arm and hope it fucking takes someone out. So I suppose it does help, but then again, you got to be careful who you start fighting because he might be a wrestler. He might go for the takedown and ground and pound your head to the pavement sort of thing. So, recognise it's not saying go and pick a fight, but with boxers, you got to be careful fighting a boxer.
No, I would never tell somebody to get themselves in trouble. I'm just saying, if you train, Matt, what I'm trying to say is correlate that to a boxer. I'm talking about the average guy. If he just committed himself with a punching bag, hit it 500 times a day. Hit that bag 500 times a day, he has a tremendous disadvantage over the regular, Joe Schmo on the street.
I know, Graham. It wasn't fucking 30 years ago either.
Wanker. 30 years ago, when Stu was in his prime in his 30s.
Yeah, when I was Simba.
No, I don't recommend street fights to anybody. It's never fair. I've seen some crazy shit happen, man. It's never. Yeah, you know what it is though? If it's 1-on-1, whoever hits like if you're about to get into a fight with somebody and you just hit them first, you're gonna win. Like if you know how to punch, you just hit them out of nowhere. Like
that's exactly
it's
right.
Lights out with no gloves. It's lights out, man.
That's why you got to watch out for those sneaky guys that you see them. You can notice the way they're positioning themselves and looking around. That's the dead giveaway.
Yeah.
That guy right there, as a bouncer, I was taught. Like, that's the guy. And plus, just experience anyway. Just experience. I see that guy. I neutralize him right away. Yeah. Right away. And what happens is they get caught off guard. Those guys get caught off guard because they're so used to, catching that guy not looking and just and clocking him. And you just turn around, you look at him, boom, and you hit him, and he's in shock. And that's only when you have to.
I'll tell you one thing as well, recognise. The amount of people I've seen over the years that have been knocked out from a headbutt because they've let someone get in their space. I mean, that's one thing you do not do. When it's kicking off, you do not let a man get in your space where he can launch the head. So as soon as he's getting close, mate, you either back off or you either can start throwing hands. But do not let a man get in your space. Because when you get someone with a head like fucking Jermall Charlo sticking it on you, it's sleep time, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't let somebody get near you. If you guys are arguing, stay about 5 feet back from that motherfucker unless you're going to hit him first.
Bro, I've been sucker punched before, man. I don't get KO'd that easily.
Actually,
I've been knocked down before, but I've never been KO'd. But I can be. I know for sure I can be, depending on who hits me.
Listen,
the quag says I'm even older than Ortiz. Go on, Kyle. Sorry, bro.
No, you're good. I was just saying that I got this, one of my close friends, this Puerto Rican dude. He's got a huge head, and he's actually a boxer. He won the Chicago Golden Gloves a few times. He was in the club, right? And I guess he was talking to this chick, and this black dude comes out of nowhere. Fucking, like, they're arguing, and he's like, whatever, because I guess he was talking to the girl's chick. He turned around. He was like, whatever. Turns around. Skinny little black dude hits him in the back of the head, knocks him the fuck out, man. And this guy, I'm telling you, his head is huge, and he's a boxer. Like, anybody can get knocked out on the street, man. It's not even worth messing with that shit, honestly.
No.
That is true.
Walk away.
I mean, fucking when I was a young lad, did a bit of a stretch for fighting, didn't it? Did a bit of a stretch, and there was a guy in there. He was a farmer's son, rich farmer's son. He was a unit, one of them typical farmer guys you get in the countryside in England. They've got fucking hands like shovels, just big units. And he was a very well-spoken English guy, very educated. And he was doing 2.5 years because he was outside a nightclub. Some fucking moron got in his face, giving it the big one. And they got in a fight. And because he's a big unit, he hit this guy once. And mate, he cracked his head on the pavement and had a skull fracture, and he was in a coma for a while. And they sent him to prison for 2.5 years. So that was just one. All the guy was doing was basically protecting himself, and he got 2.5 years in prison for it.
Wait a minute. Self-defense, and he ended up in that.
We're not in America now. We're not in America now where you can shoot someone with an AK-47 in self-defense. We're talking about the UK.
In America, this happens too, Stu. We got into a brawl where I worked at, and one of the guys that I work with, broke this guy's face, like literally broke it. It was non-existent, like it was crushed. He went to jail for that, even though we were being attacked. Now,
Self-defense has to be equal force.
The guy, it was definitely equal force. This guy was stabbed one of the bouncers. You know? Shit. Yeah. It's just that when my friend landed on him, he broke he broke his orbital bone, his cheekbone, his jaw, the front teeth and the gums were all crushed inside.
Jeez. Bro, is this one punch or is this one punch or a couple?
One punch, bro. One punch.
Shit, you fucked them up. That's fucked up, man. That's insane. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We've got McGregor and AA Boxing in the chat. They're welcome to come in. I can't send the link to. I don't know where Butcho is. Probably fucking drowning his sorrows in about 10 bottles of wine. No, and him. But if he's up, then try and send them links to me, please, bro. But yeah, go on, crack on. We're talking about street fighting.
Matrix, I was going to ask you something. What kind of a dude was he? Was it like a small dude he punched or what?
No, the dude was my size, but the guy that did it was about a good 6'5", and weighed about 280, all muscles.
Yeah, see.
His hands are like, I got pretty good sized hands. Yeah, his hands are like two of mine.
Did I tell you that time I went to a gypsy bare knuckle fight a little while ago, and I saw this fight, man, and it's fucking horrendous, man. I saw this guy get his face rearranged, man, and it's bare knuckle fighting. I mean, very boring, some of it, because they get tired quick, don't they? But when you get a good quality bare knuckle fight and there's no boxing gloves on, it gets pretty brutal quick.
And that's why I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instead. Fuck that shit.
You look a bit like Kyle. You look a bit like Chris Eubank Jr.
Oh, that was me like 8 years. I was like 22 in that picture. I had just gotten shot, so I was fucking like super skinny right out of the hospital. But I don't know. I guess maybe I got more facial hair now. So.
We've got the guys in. We've got McGregor in here. We've got AA Boxing. I want to hear their opinion on last night's cards because I do like their opinion. So McGregor, we'll go with you first, and then AA Boxing, you can chime in.
Yeah, sure, no problem. How's it going, lads? Where will they start? Which card? Will they start with the matchroom card? Yeah. Dillian Whyte. I had him losing on the cards, but he pulled off an amazing knockout. Like, knockout of the year for me. Other than that, the card was an average card. Fair play to Charlie Edwards getting a win. I had Charlie losing that fight by a point, but there you go. You need to, when you go to someone's backyard, you need to take it away from him. Charlie did well. All in all, it was decent. The card was all right. The night was good. Warrington was too much from Frampton. He put too much pressure on him. Applied way too much. It was just a bit much for Frampton at this stage. I reckon Frampton should just run off into the wind and settle now, because I don't think he can really do much on the world scene anymore.
I said exactly the same. That Frampton hasn't got it in his stomach to handle that pressure anymore. The love for boxing is not there. And if you haven't got the love for this sport, then Josh Warrington is the last man you need to be in a ring with. You know, you've got to be dedicated. I just think just too much pressure for him. But go on, bro.
Warrington applied too much pressure. Thought Tommy Fury could have done a little bit better, considering his opponent was a complete walkover. But a W is a W on your debut. He's got the nerves out of the way, so fair play to him. Thought Billy was kind of impressive. I was disappointed with Martin Murray, but Ndama's not a bad opponent. All in all, it was a good night of boxing. Then on the US cards, we obviously had Tony Harrison shock Jermall Charlo. I scored that fight a draw again, but once again, Charlo didn't do enough. And then when it came down to Korobov versus Big Brother Charlo, Jermall, I was okay with Jermall getting the win. I think he earned the win, but he's not as good as people make him out to be. And Korobov, let's be real, was never good enough to begin with. He couldn't beat Andy Lee when he was in his prime. So, and he gave Charlo a lot of problems. So I can only see Charlo struggling the further down his career he goes, and that's pretty much the night in retrospect for me.
I don't know, man. I think some of you guys aren't giving Korobov enough. That guy can fucking fight. Like he was beating Andy Lee, and then he got clipped, and the ref stopped it like 4 seconds later. He didn't even go down. I mean, it was
What year did that fight take place?
I actually give
hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. You can step in and get involved with this conversation.
I was at the fight last night. I was at the Frampton fight. Well, at the Warrington fight. That was good. But I thought they was going to stop him. I really expected him to stop him. I think Frampton's got another fight in him. I didn't think he did. Before that fight, I had Frampton losing that by stoppage. Crazy enough. He showed a lot of heart. Of heart.
He did show heart,
but he was taking a pasting. Like, he really was taking.
Yeah, he was.
Every punch was, when the punches were hitting him, they were hitting him clean, and he never had a chance to react to anything. Warrington is a machine. I can't wait. He's talking about going to Vegas. He wants a fight in Vegas next year.
Well, that'll be Valdez then. That will definitely be Valdez, because Santa Cruz don't want no tough fights anymore. He just wants recycled Mexicans.
He'll take 20,000.
What about Gary Russell?
It'll be good.
Gary Russell. The thing is with Gary Russell, very talented guy, but this guy is just so inactive. I mean, you got people still saying he's the best guy in the division, but you can't call him that if he's fighting nobody. It's a bit like this Adonis Stevenson factor, where they call him the best guy at light heavyweight when he's fighting nobody for years, sort of thing. And this is getting ridiculous now with Gary Russell. So I don't care to.
That's not a fight. Warrington will not fight Gary Russell.
No, I don't think.
After the fight, his dad said after the fight, he said Russell's the best. He said, well, without saying it in too many words, Warrington wants to know the belt. Maybe
Russell is the best, but and at the time he proved it. I mean, it's been a while, that Johnny Gonzalez fight, and we're not seeing many names pop up on his resume, are we?
JoJo wasn't a bad fight. JoJo was huge too. What's his name? Joseph Diaz.
Yeah.
I think the Tommy Fury fight, I think that was a clever move as well.
Yeah.
That guy been in with some good people. He fought Cody, him on the Matchroom card in October in Cardiff, on the Cordina card. He was on that fighting against Cody Davis. He's went round. He's went round with a lot of people, but he was 41. He was 41. I got a message like 2:00 yesterday afternoon saying Tommy Fury's 41 on points. It's a 4-rounder. Like, get your money on. He was 41. He's made a lot of gypsies Christmas. Definitely.
He was what?
He was 41 to win on points in a 4-rounder in his debut.
Oh my God! Really?
That's crazy. The bookies had him at 1 to 100 to win. It's like, took him 3 rounds to find his feet, and then he goes to a draw. It's 41.
Can I just say a quick thank you to AA, because he told me about that before the fight was happening. He said he's gone to 4-1. He's 4-1 right now on points. And he said you should put money on it. So I put 50 quid down and I got 200 back. So
there was loads. Everybody I know, a load of people I know had Warrington to win on points at 5-2 and Fury at 4-1 on a double. That was the bet yesterday in the bookies.
Wow.
I mean, there's a guy in the chat. He wants to know. He's asking me who should Russell Jr. fight. Then I mean, who am I? Fucking Al Heyman. You decide.
He should fight anybody. He should fight anybody at this stage. Right now, he's not fighting anyone. He's as inactive as tank.
Do you guys
fight Josh Warrington?
Thank you, McGregor. And what you said, apology.
Fight Warrington. Makes sense.
Did you guys know that Russell is okay with, like, he chooses to fight once a year? I saw an interview. I was shocked. He was like, "Oh,
yeah.
Do you see? Do I look bad? I get to rest and I get to do this." I was like, "What the fuck? Are you serious?"
Yeah, Carl. He doesn't like boxing. He said himself he only does it because he's good at it. He has no heart, no will, no passion.
He is right. He is pretty good at it. He's obviously pretty good. I don't know how much he's getting paid per fight. Maybe somebody can answer that, but.
He used to get paid $1 million.
I've heard the same thing that Kyle did, which was, he said that he's good fighting once a year.
He used to get paid $1 million, I think, per fight, but now the money dried up. He doesn't get paid as much.
Like I said, there's no doubting that Russell Jr. is a very talented guy. I want to see more from him.
That's in the 126 division, right? Gary Russell's in 126.
Yeah.
Warrington rates him as the best in the division. That's what Warrington said.
To be honest,
I
they
think
should do a
Warrington can
World
take him
Boxing
too.
Series for that division.
That'd be a good fight.
Yeah, I think Warrington can take him too, because Warrington can break your will, and so like Gary Russell Jr., who does have a passion for the sport to begin with.
Yeah, good point.
Will break easily.
Good point.
Yeah, but Gary Russell's pretty fast, man. I don't know. I haven't seen Warrington much to say that.
Yeah, it's the thing is Warrington's going to get tagged up coming in. That's going to be.
He has no power. He has no power, man.
But I think once Warrington gets inside and starts working, I think that's when we can see what Gary Russell was all about. I saw moments in the Lomachenko fight where he looked like he wanted out of there, but
same. I was going to mention that.
Yeah, he held on and fucking survived the fight. So you got to give him credit for that. And he did. He's probably gave Lomachenko the best fight he's had, probably bar Pedraza sort of thing, and even that was like quite one-sided. So yeah, I'll give him credit for that, Gary Russell. But you just can't give too much credit to a guy that just doesn't fight.
Lomachenko was his kryptonite that night for sure. He makes excuses about it, but I never really believe that shit. I just think that Lomachenko put a style on him that he's too short and his feet are too slow to deal with what Lomachenko did to him. But yeah, that was probably Lomachenko's best fight since, ever. Besides maybe Salido, but Salido was dirty. I don't know. That was a good fight, though.
He did knock down Lomachenko, though. You got to give him that.
Huh? For fuck's sakes.
He knocked down Lomachenko. He did.
When?
Go look at the 8th round.
What?
No. Are we talking about the same person?
Are you talking about Linares? Are you talking about Linares? Or...
No. I'm talking about Gary Russell. I agree. He got totally outboxed.
What?
But
the referee.
When did this happen?
The referee called it a slip, right?
Referee called it a slip. That was a knockdown.
No.
Go look at it.
I'll watch it again.
Yeah.
I believe you.
But it was but he got as soon as Lomachenko got back up, he started beating him up. It was first of all, he didn't get back up. He just his knee hit the ground. It was a punch. It's a legal knockdown. It's supposed to be called a knockdown. Is what I'm saying.
Someone in the chat said about Gary Russell Santa Cruz. That fight could be made. Yet not once have I heard anyone from that camp talk about it.
I think that's coming up. Honestly, I think Heyman.
I hope so. That's a brilliant fight. That's a brilliant fight that I'll definitely be looking forward to. What about you guys?
I think Warrington having that belt will make them have to fight each other. Warrington will want all the belts. He said he doesn't want to fight Kid Galahad. He wants to fight for the belts. So it's either fight yourself or else fight him, because he will call them out.
You see,
Recognize. I've just got to pop out for 5 minutes and get a drink. Yeah. Will you take over, bro? Recognize.
He's like, fuck that shit. I ain't taking over.
I got you. I hear you. I hear you. That was I'm at work, so this is what I'm gonna do, guys. All right, I'm gonna take over. You're gonna listen. Boxing styles. You're gonna talk when I say talk. All right.
Fuck no. I'm out.
Recognize. Recognize. I see. We got Jimmy on the hangout. So if you want to introduce him, you can.
Oh, I was already on, brother. Thank you, though. I was already on. What happened? My phone died.
I just came on. Okay.
Oh, I know, but my phone died, and my kid who rents off me. He's a college student. Real quick, when there's something fucked up, he's not staying in the house where he rents off me. His girlfriend threatened him this week. They had a fight. She said, if you fucking whatever, he didn't want to tell me what it was about, but she's threatened that she would tell kids at school that he took advantage of her. So he's so afraid that he won't go back to his house. He just showed up to pay me rent for January, and he goes, I might not be there, though. My girlfriend is going to be staying. I'm like, dude, My God, they'd be
Dude,
finding
dump
pieces
that
of her in
bitch.
dumpsters all over the fucking place.
Yeah, dump that bitch.
Sorry, I didn't mean to change the subject. I'm just so blown away that kid told me that.
No. Honestly, just fuck that bitch. Dump her and just like block her completely.
Craziness.
Women.
Do a police report early, so you know.
Well, like I told him, I said, the only thing it sucks, it's fucking December here, man. I said, shit, if it was spring, ground's frozen. Makes things a lot difficult.
Hey,
Wow.
Jimmy,
Yo.
I'm at work right now, so if I cut off and it's like dead air, you can take over.
All right, well, these guys always got good shit to say.
Thank you.
Who's being the most controversial? Who's getting everybody riled up? Is it Styles?
Yeah, Styles, he's the Jim Acostas of the panelists,
I barely even say anything.
Has anybody got any points, anything they want to say, or any talking points you really want to get off your chest?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing.
Sure thing, brother.
Yep, I just think the 126-pound division needs a tournament because there's too many champions. You got Gary Russell, you got Leo Santa Cruz, you got Josh Warrington, you got Carl Frampton. You got so many fighters, and I just think that they just need to have a tournament for that division.
Excellent point. I 100% agree.
Does Warrington
Can I
have a
get my
legit
take
belt?
on the chart? Go ahead.
Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead, man.
No, I was saying, does Warrington have a legit belt? What belt does he have?
IBF.
IBF. Okay, no shit. Yeah, they need to do something then. I don't know why. I was like, Frampton didn't have a title, though, did he?
No. Warrington won it off Lee Selby.
Oh, okay. Right. That's okay, dude. I need to go watch this guy, man. You guys talk about him like he's pretty damn good.
So what do you guys think about Rigo coming back?
Oh, no one cares.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
The Jackal.
Yeah, I know. I was just curious what anybody. Now,
Jimmy, is it true?
Who's he
Is
fighting?
it true that he owes money?
I can. Well, that's funny you asked. That's funny. I talked about that kid. He's the kid who's the Cuban and his roommate and shit. It's a long show, but anyways, yeah, he's the one I get all that information from. And he was saying he does, and supposedly he took off. He went over to Texas. He's over in Texas now. But yeah, I was told that he owed, which, I mean, it wasn't a secret. He wasn't getting any fight deals, right? Every time you've seen him on Instagram, he's pimping up a new Rolex. He's got the fucking, $150,000 car, and you're not fighting anybody. And if you really, you look at what these guys take home, and he's not by no means bringing home big money. So he has to pay for that lifestyle. So Cuban community are behind their athletes. They stand by their athletes, and they love them, and they will. I guess they'll like that. And, he had no problem finding, people basically invest in them. You get your money back. A lot of fighters do that. They'll get investors. Hey, listen, this is what I'll be able to make. You'll get so many points on a dollar. Back in the day, it used to be just the mafia, but now regular people do it too. And so, yeah, I heard he's into well over six figures. And just, that's not even counting the VIG. That's just straight money owed.
Yeah. Do you know who's he going to fight? Or is it like any suggestions?
He's got to come back. He can't dick around. I'll just say that and I'll hang up. I mean, I'll let you talk, but he can't dick around. In my opinion, if he wants to get anybody's respect back, he has to take on somebody good and he has to fight his balls off. Because there's no doubt this kid's got talent. I mean, it's a ridiculous thing he does. And he was pushed into that Lomachenko fight that he should have never taken. And it was demoralizing. But, the kid's got talent. Let's see what he can do. But that's my opinion.
What
Isn't he
division
old
is it?
now?
122 or 126?
They didn't say the weight class. If I was in his corner, it'd be 122.
Right. Man. Okay. Yeah, he has to fight
I'm
somebody.
I'm back, by the way, guys. I'm back.
What's up, Stu? You'd be pissed at because I brought up Rigondeaux only because I just saw he signed with the PBC.
No, not at all, bro. I mean, you can talk about who you want. I mean, with Rigondeaux, I mean, it's got to the stage now where he's not going to get any better. When you look at the age of him, he doesn't have much love for the sport by the looks of it because he's just ruined his career. A very talented guy that ruined his career. I mean, don't get me wrong, he still achieved more than most guys have in the game, but he could have been a lot better
Now, what do you think about him going to Texas, Stu? Did you see that? He's now with what's his name? Charlo's boy, Charlo's guy.
What? Derek James?
No, is it James? I know he's out of Texas. He's
Ronnie
in the
Shields.
same gym that I hear a lot
Ronnie
of.
Shields, yeah.
I hear a lot of rumors around that gym about drug use and whatnot, and he's now there. And again, he has to fight. If the rumors are true, he still owes so much money. He has to fight. So, like I said, while you were gone, in my opinion, he can't take a soft. He doesn't deserve it, and nobody will warrant it. And nobody will watch it. So he has to take on somebody good at 122. I'd say fuck it. Whoever was willing to fight him, I don't care if it's someone with a belt, and he has to.
Yeah,
if he dominates, and that's.
It doesn't look good coming off quitting. I mean, I want to put a search warrant out for Nicholas Walters, because where's that guy since he quit?
Yeah,
I mean, there should be.
I don't know, man.
Can I tell you what I heard about him?
He's going to be on the Crime and Investigation Channel.
Can I tell you what I heard about him, guys? I mean, nobody could sue me. I'm not a fucking thing, but again, because I know Mickey and the guys down in the gym, I stop by and talk. This is what I was told there. He's a heavy hitter in fucking Jamaica. And a lot of us with some weed and some other shit down there. He's got a lot of shit going on. That's what I was told. So basically, he's got his hands in. I mean, everything in those island countries, a lot of them down there are run pretty much by black market and shit. But yeah, so I guess he's got his hands full. So maybe his head's in that.
Who, Rigo?
Yeah, like I said,
no, Walters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I said with Walters, I think we saw his spirit leave his body that day, and I just don't think it's returned.
His spirit was gone before that.
No, I didn't see that.
What about Rigo? Where's Rigo?
I thought he put in a very gutsy performance against Jason Sosa. I thought it was a gutsy performance. Sosa brought it to him, and he stood there and fought against Lomachenko. His spirit was gone; it just got taken from him.
Shit, too, because the kid was exciting.
The reason I say that is because Bob Arum has a way of doing that to fighters. Like, he'll basically. Do you guys remember that he was asking for like $1 million to fight Lomachenko? Bob Arum said no. You're gonna take $750,000 or some shit like that. He was inactive. He got super fat, and then he came back and took $300,000. Think about that for a second. And I'm not saying he would have ever beat Lomachenko, but he came back for the money anyway. Like he was fucking broke. Bob Arum wouldn't put him in a fight.
Kyle,
he had to come back and take.
Yeah, Kyle. Do you know the reason why he got paid so less? It's because he didn't have a belt anymore.
He did not just that. He didn't have a decent win under his belt either. I mean, what Jazza Dickens is enough to get you $1 million, is it?
Yeah, and that's how Bob is. Listen, Bob is good to guys who are good to him. It's how if you respect Bob and try to follow him, he'll be good to you. But when he offers you $700,000,
Jimmy's gone.
Cut out.
Jimmy's gone.
He's gone. Does anybody know what he was saying? Because I kind of want to hear what he said.
Well, he's on about getting offered $700,000 and not taking it, and that's probably why Bob went off Rigondeaux. Wasn't sad to see him go.
I was talking about Walters though.
So yeah, I don't know. He was talking about Rigondeaux. I think
Okay. No, but I think Walters.
Kyle, you have to stop giving you have to stop giving excuses for these fighters, bro. I've noticed it today. You're a nice guy, but you give excuses for Charlo. You give excuses for Rigondeaux. These guys are grown men that make their own decisions in life, bro. They're the ones that go out there and do the work. So when you praise them when they do well, you have to be fair when they're not.
No. See, I was never like me. I'm one of the people who said that he actually like that fight with Sosa. That wasn't a robbery. One, I thought he didn't look too good in that fight. I'm not giving him excuses. That's exactly why I said he would have never beat Lomachenko. But what I'm saying is that his spirit was gone before that. I believe. I just that's what I think.
But why though?
An excuse, but
why was his spirit gone? It's not like he had a loss. But it's usually a loss can take the spirit from a fight. But this guy didn't have a loss. Yeah,
when to say what you were saying, when he was offered $700,000 and he put his nose up in the air to Arum, that was it. Bob was like, okay. And the fact that he came back within a year, his man was calling Todd DeBuff saying, yeah, okay, whatever. And Bob, they jumped at the first money Bob threw on him. I think it was 5. I don't think he went down as low as 3. Rigondeaux did the same thing. These guys try to think they're worth more. You know, Bob sits it down. He'll say, listen, this is what the gate's going to do. It's all out in the open. I mean, sure, there's hidden costs there and there, but Bob's going to say, I expect to make this. Certain fighters, after a while, like even Pacquiao, when you get to a certain level, Arum knows you lose money. Arum lost money. Was it the last Pacquiao fight or the one before that? He was straight up with everybody. He lost millions.
I think he lost. I think you're talking about Jimmy when he lost money on the I want to say the Jesse Vargas fight.
Yes, with the Pacquiao. Yeah, he lost money. He lost $7 million.
He paid him $20 million, I believe, for that fight.
Yep. He said right out of his pocket, $7 million. I think the price
and so
tag
he
was.
lost. Yeah, I mean, listen, it happens, right? I mean, when a guy hits a certain point of his career, unless you're like, you're selling the stupid public, McGregor is some type of threat to Mayweather. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, once I saw Arum publicly say that, he was telling Steve Kim, he was tweeting it out. This fight cost me money. Once I saw that, I knew the relationship was done. To see that was Arum saying basically "fuck you" to him, because Arum expected Manny, like, listen, Manny, usually would sit down. Hey, okay, buddy, listen, you're fighting this kid. What are you going to do for me? You're not going to make anywhere near what your contract is. So help me out. We'll make it up on this, yada, yada. And I guess Manny was like, nope, I want my $30 million. Fuck off. So Bob was saying, okay. So just basically saying, listen, this fight's costing me $7 million. So I knew the relationship was shattered there.
Yeah. You heard about Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah.
You heard about Manny, didn't you?
Yeah.
See, the thing is, Manny Pacquiao, although he's a legend of the ring, he has to keep it real. Is he really worth the same money as Canelo Alvarez right now?
No way. He's a mercenary. He's only fighting for the money.
Yeah, but if you're talking about $30 million, though, he's talking about one. Is that guy worth the same money as Canelo Alvarez is getting every fight? He's not. So, if I can see why Bob let him go, because the guy's probably got 2-3 fights in him at most. And you don't want to be paying him that sort of money.
Who, Pacquiao?
Yeah.
No, man. Pacquiao got a lot more than a few fights in him. He's very energetic.
Dude, not the one person this decade.
I know, but still, I'm surprised myself when I'm saying this, but I think Pacquiao has a lot more than just one or two fights.
According to boxing style, Pacquiao's going to go on to have an Archie Moore record.
I mean, possibly, bro. I mean, do you see how he is? He's one of those. He's one of these guys. Like, I'll tell you this much.
Right.
Mayweather. Let me say this. Let me finish.
There you go. I'm not having that. I have to mute him. I'm not having that. Archie Moore's got like 200 KOs. Never mind, fight to defend Pacquiao and going to do that. Listen,
can I say my piece and then you can say whatever you feel like?
Go on.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead, Costas. Go ahead.
This is what I think, bro. Out of all the fighters out there, right? Let's say you give them there's Mayweather, there's Pacquiao. That we're going back. I mean, Pacquiao and Mayweather. I think they're the two guys that always kept fit. Like even with Triple G, as much of a gym rat he is, he there's moments you see with him with a belly and everything, all this shit, but I don't see that with Pacquiao.
Like he drinks beer.
Yeah, bro. He fucks around a lot. These motherfuckers keep themselves in shape.
Why are you watching his body again? Why are you watching his body again? What's wrong with you?
I'm not checking out his belly, bro. I'm just saying, like, I see fit guy, right? And I see with Pacquiao, a consistent thing with steroids and all this shit that he does. And he's looking good.
Is that?
He's looking good, bro. He's going to go on for a few more years. Trust me. He probably goes for another maybe 4 years or 3 years.
All right, put the dog on. I'm going to talk to him.
We got a dog over here? It's not mine.
I thought it was your dog. Sorry.
It's not mine, bro.
There's more interest in the boxing styles.
Sit down, Chihuahua.
I mean, what's the crap with this Broner Pacquiao thing? For me, it's Pacquiao. Whoever loses should retire because I mean, what's the point of Adrian Broner continuing on and just being a journeyman? Because that's what it's going to get to that sort of state. So this guy's talented, but it's just
it's a mercenary.
Everything is now not to win a fight, sort of thing.
Al Heyman uses Broner to make people stars. That's what he does. Because Broner's very well known here in the States. He is.
On top, the reason why he's giving Broner the fight, seriously, the reason why of all the welterweights it's Broner, because Broner's turned down the most money for Al Heyman. he was turned down $46 million from back when they were still in boxing, Jay-Z's place, right?
That shows how,
right?
that shows how intelligent he is.
Then he turned down millions, a $6 million offer from $5 million offer from Bob Arum to fight Pacquiao when he had him. And then he turned down something else. So listen, this is by far going to be the biggest payday for a PBC fighter. Will be this Pacquiao, just because he's fighting Pacquiao. Worldwide, will pull in those kind of numbers where it'll be his biggest payday by far. I'm talking Broner. So this is payback to him. But this fight goes nowhere. Like fucking seriously. I mean, he was exposed 5 years ago.
He's gonna knock out.
Not going to mean anything. I mean, whoever wins, what's it actually going to mean? Where's it actually going to push him up in the welterweight rankings?
Goes nowhere, right? Nowhere.
Broner has got no ranking in the welterweight division, really. So, so for Pacquiao, it's a lose-lose situation for Pacquiao for me.
He wants the big fights, bro. Pacquiao wants the big fights. He wants to fight. He wants the Errol Spences. He wants the Terrence Crawford. None of those bitches want to fight him. I guarantee you, none of them want to fight him.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Hey, Styles, one of these days, you're going to tell me who you think shot Kennedy.
Boxing style is
an easy one.
Hey, do you think Pacquiao said that Crawford ducked him for so long? Now that he's not with Bob anymore, all of a sudden Crawford was ducking him. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I know precisely.
Dude, Pacquiao is a nightmare for Terrence Crawford. Trust me.
He's a nightmare for anybody, but
anybody, bro. Lomachenko didn't even want to. He's like, oh, he's too old. He's like, get the fuck out of here with that old shit, man. Get the hell out of here.
Listen, that's him.
You expect Lomachenko looks small at 135. You expect him to fight an all-time legend welterweight.
You can fight him at 140. You can fight him at 140.
Listen, he's full of shit. Pacquiao was never offered Crawford. They were never even talked about fighting together. Just put yourself in Arum's shoes. You have your your biggest moneymaker and your second biggest moneymaker, or you're definitely the guy you're looking to become your next big moneymaker. Either way, you're cutting your dick off if you place them together, right? So you're always going to farm that work out. So that was never even talked about. So that's just him throwing bobs now and talking more smack that he left.
Yeah.
Pacquiao is still dangerous to everybody, bro. Even Errol Spence. He's fast enough. I'm telling you.
Fucking dangerous to the Philippine people with the fucking shit he passes in Congress.
I don't know about that shit. I don't pay attention to politics much. But fighting wise, the motherfucker.
You don't pay much attention to boxing either, boxing stuff.
Stupid brick.
I'm being real, bro. I saw what I saw. Broner is gonna tell you what's up when he fights Broner. Broner is it's gonna let you know if he got what he got or he don't got what he got. And the story, we'll know from there. But I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a really bad night for Broner. He's gonna have lifetime problems after he's done with Pacquiao.
I hate talking about
he's got lifetime problems now.
I'm talking about disabilities and shit, bro.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying.
Maybe he ain't gonna be able to move his right leg or something. We don't know.
Well, he said he's taking it serious this time.
No, we don't wish that. That's the BDA.
I'm not wishing that shit. I hope that doesn't happen to him. But realistically, that's something
I don't think Adrian Broner is that bad of a fight where he's going to get seriously out. I think.
No. Hey, and good news about
Broner's problem is. I think Broner's problem is. He's not. He doesn't really get beat up that much. It's just that he doesn't do anything to win the fight. It's like he just goes through the motions, waits to the 12th round, and then lets his hands go and looks quite good doing it. I mean, it's just the same old story with Broner. I thought he looked very good in his last fight. I mean, against I can't remember who it was just because. Come on, lads, help me out. His last fight where he looked quite good.
He went life and death with Vargas. He went life and death with Jesse Vargas and Adrian Granados.
I still thought he looked quite decent at times. I still thought he looked quite decent at times. Do you know what I mean? But I just
was drained, man. Still
hey, good news about Adonis Stevenson, huh, guys? Just wanted to say that. I want to put that out there. I think that's good news. He come out of the coma.
Yeah. We spoke about that. We're saying.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't.
No, just saying we don't wish that upon. We don't wish that upon any guy, sort of thing. Even though he's a piece of shit, we don't.
I mean, he did some horrible things in his life, but yeah, I'm just saying, good for him and his family.
For me, like I said before, I've always kept it real about Stevenson. If someone like shot him on the street for a revenge attack for what he's done, then I wouldn't shed a fucking even a tear or anything. But the fact is, in a boxing, I like to keep that shit away from boxing. So I don't want to see a man get killed in a boxing ring, sort of thing.
If he would have died, I'm telling you right now, it would have affected
Jimmy, man. I don't know what's happening. Jimmy keeps cutting out.
I was saying that I actually felt bad the first time.
Yeah, let's go to the Stevenson topic anyway. Fucking, I don't want to talk about Adonis Stevenson anymore. No more Adonis Stevenson talk because it's fucking morbid stuff.
Stu, I got a question for you.
Go on.
You're in the UK, right? Did they air the Joshua Buatsi fight?
Yeah, they did. It only lasted a round.
Oh shit! Because I didn't even hear about that fight. Okay, he stopped the dude in a round.
Yeah, it's over quick. He looks a talent, that Buatsi, but
I watched him in the Olympics. He was fun. He was fun to watch at the very least. So I mean, I don't know. I was gonna ask you how he did, but a round doesn't give you much to go by, I guess.
Stu. Hey, Stu, can I ask you? I never asked you before, dude. I've never heard you say this. I know it's hard to put in, but who's one of your all-time or your two top all-time favorite fighters? I was just curious.
Fighters of all time?
All time, yeah.
That's a hard one because
it is hard. I know.
A lot. You know, I mean, fucking hell,
that's why for top three. You know what I mean? It's like your top names.
I'd have to say top three. I'd have to say Lennox Lewis, Joe Calzaghe, and I don't know, the third one, probably an American fighter. I'll have to put American in there. I can't be all Brits. I'd say Marvin Hagler.
Nice. Thank God. Nice, my brother. Yes.
Yeah, I used to love Hagler, man. I used to just love Marvin Hagler. I mean, this guy he travelled as well. He's not like the champions in America you get today that don't leave their backyard. This guy travelled to England when the racial tensions were high. He actually came to England, beat the world champion, Alan Minter, and actually beat the brakes off him and had bottles thrown at him and called all sorts. I mean, he nearly got killed in that ring that day by the crowd. So
and that's where he did his whole career.
Yeah, right? After seeing that, I always had a soft spot for Marvin Hagler. So, do you know what I mean? And I thought he won the Sugar Ray Leonard fight. I'll be honest.
Too.
I thought he won that.
I was there.
You know? I mean, the Tommy Hearns win.
What about
everyone knows that everyone's seen the first round, Hearns v Hagler, and everybody's seen that. You're not a boxing fan, and yeah, he's got to be the guy from America for me. And the other two, obviously, Lennox Lewis, because I just followed his career from the start, and Calzaghe the same. I mean, I used to watch Calzaghe when no one knew he was. So.
Joe Calzaghe is a beast.
What about Roy Jones?
Yeah. Roy Jones, Roy Jones was a very, very good fighter. He was
the '90s Roy Jones, right?
Very athletic, very explosive. But when he lost that athleticism, then his game was gone. He relied on that.
Okay, forget about that athleticism. When he lost it, was when he had it. That's what matters.
When he had it in the '90s, he was my favorite fighter during the '90s.
What I'm saying, he was a very good fighter, but I think he was a bit overhyped, to be honest with you.
Not really, man. I think he was pretty good.
He fought a fucking the Bernard Hopkins he beat was bit green. Same with James Toney. He didn't fight them at their best. He didn't hang around at super middleweight very long. So he that was a dangerous division. He had some big fights there for him. I'm not saying
there's no doubt about it. He was very selective of his fights.
Yeah, he could have
absolutely, dude.
He could have won them fights. I'm not doubting that, but he didn't take them. I mean, he
that was his knock even back then, bro. Remember, that's what people would say back then.
Yeah. What's his guy's name? I do rate him, but I think when he lost a bit of his, I think when he put on all that muscle to go up to heavyweight, he was never the same guy. He lost his athleticism and speed.
That's when I knew that Hagler was going to be my man forever. I was in just a kid, 15, right, Boston guy, and he just fought and won against the Mosquito, Interfermo, right? And they're doing the live ring interview with HBO, filmed it that night too, and they said, "So who's next?" Right? And Hagler goes, "Everybody," and he meant it. He didn't duck anybody. Straight up. He was like, and Mugambi, remember that fight, dude? That dude was probably the most feared middleweight up at that point. That African kid, Mugambi, cracked like thunder. And he stood there and just fucking, that was the best middleweight fight I've ever seen in my life.
See, Duran was always also a hero of mine. I loved him.
Hands of Stone. Yeah, he was awesome.
I lost respect after No Mas. I don't accept that in boxing. Not from a man like Roberto Duran. I could accept it from Andre Durrell or someone like that, but not Roberto Duran. I can't accept it.
Guess what? The fight was fixed.
I know you're good. I mean, fucking Mr. Conspiracy Theory.
That was shocking.
They needed Ray Robinson back in the spotlight.
Apologies for accusing his uncle of being his dad. He's like such of a conspiracy theorist.
That was shocking, though, wasn't it? When he did that, that was so. Especially then, nobody did shit like that. It was so shocking. And the dude was in so many wars. You could never question the man's heart. That's what was shocking, right? I mean, that dude was in wars.
And like I said, at the end of the day, you can't blame Sugar Ray for fighting like that after the first fight. I mean, he fed into sort of Duran's hands in the first fight. You know, there's the last thing you do to Roberto Duran is go toe to toe with him. And Leonard showed what a great fighter he is, because not just a boxer, a fighter. Because he stood there and went toe to toe with Duran, and he held his own. The first fight was close; he lost it. The second time, he thought, "I'm not going to get beat up to please the crowd. I'm not going to sit here and get my fucking head caved in, so you guys can say what a brave warrior I was, like Rocky Fielding the other day, how brave he was getting his ass whooped. No, I'm going to play by my boxing, what I know, and that's why he changed the game plan. And Duran didn't like it because it weren't going his way, and he quit. And that's why I lost respect for Duran, and that's why I'm not going to put him nowhere near Marvin Hagler. But when you look at Duran's career, I mean, it's a great career, man, great career, great fighter. But just after that, lost a bit of respect for him.
Is that BDA? Is he on? Oh, no, it's just because of the symbol. Okay. Sorry.
No, that's them.
You guys talking about favorites. It's kind of hard to pick a favorite, man. I have so many favorites.
Well, we know yours is Varnes Martirosian.
You know how many Varnes
Martirosian go there again,
bro? So many. But Roy, I haven't really done this, but the one actually I have. I was a Mike Tyson fan, big Mike Tyson fan. But the more I looked at Roy Jones, some of these fights I haven't seen from Roy, and I looked at his highlights and shit. I'm like, man, this motherfucker, he's probably one of the best that ever was.
Boxing styles, those were against limited opponents. It looks good, but when you break down his resume, he's not that great.
Mike Tyson was he was a phenomenon too, because you guys are probably too young to remember. But when he was fighting, like if it was in the summertime, and I live in, it was a mill city, right? So houses were only separated by driveways, a city. So, but literally, any night he was fighting, the town, I sat near the window, I went outside to smoke a cigarette or something, you could actually hear the fight throughout the neighborhood echoing out of the houses. I mean, the city went dead when he was fighting. It was crazy. So I've never seen anything like it up to then and since. It was that 2-year window from like 88 to 90. It was crazy.
Hey, guys, I don't mean to interrupt, but thanks for having me. I got to get out of here.
Hey, brother, nice meeting you.
Take care, man.
Hey, Stu, let me ask you a question, dude. Have you ever smoked a fatty and just sat in a room and wrote down jokes? Or just like wrote shit? Because, dude, you're a funny prick. You're a quick prick.
Yeah, well, I've smoked a few fatties before, and I've smoked a couple of joints.
No, but you know what I mean, dude? I bet you sat down with a couple of funny dudes and just wrote shit out. You're a funny prick. And you're quick.
Yeah, it was just me and my mates. There's a crew of us, and we just like feed off each other's banter, and it's just the English wit. We are quite witty, the English. We can be if we're the ones that haven't got their fucking
scared straight. Yeah, the ones who still fucking realize comedy is meant to be offensive.
Well, the thing is as well, it's just many years of being on the planet, and you just pick up things, don't you? And you just think it's just where I am. I mean, I've never really thought about it.
You're either born that way or you're not. You know what I mean? You gotta think at a faster level.
I just think when I think of someone, it just comes to my mind, like low place. When I think of him, I just think, oh, low life, and then it just starts rolling off the tongue when I think about him. So it's just I don't sit down with a pen and paper and write jokes down. No, I certainly don't do that. No,
No, I know. That's why I was. But I bet you if you sat down some writers,
I
you put some
appreciate
good
that,
shit out.
Jimmy. I appreciate that, brother. I really do.
When I think of Stu, I think of Conor McGregor getting choked.
Yeah,
out.
when I
Oh god.
when I think of you, I think of Caitlyn Jenner.
When I think of when I think of boxing styles, I think about when he makes the noise in the background. She was like, "Mute the fucking mic."
I know. I've got the powers to mute him.
What
now,
the hell's
so
going on here?
When I think of
What the
Matrix,
fuck's going on around here?
when I think of Matrix, I think him holding hands with AJ.
Hey, Styles, let me ask you, brother. Honestly, right?
That's really
Styles,
gay.
when you're with your boys, right? It's not just us in the boxing realm. When you're with your boys, do you ever say shit in the car? Everybody just starts going, "What the fuck are you doing?" Because
Always,
there's no way you do, right?
Always.
That's part of your personality, right?
Yeah, always. What the fuck you just said? I was like, you know what I said.
You pay money on Patreon. You pay money on Patreon to hear boxing styles rustling around in the background.
I like his intro. I'm not gonna lie. The intro's
That's the funniest shit ever. With the glass breaking at the beginning.
The internet's about to blow up, yo.
It's like the glass breaking at the beginning, and then
what's all that shit you guys were talking?
Yeah, I bet boxing style. I bet he's that kid that always got kicked out of class. Indestructive.
No, boxing style's the type of guy who will say something so outrageous, everyone will go silent and just look at him like, what the?
Oh,
fuck
like
is
Vanez
this
is
guy
gonna
doing?
beat, like Vanez is gonna beat Triple G.
No, I never said that, bro. Stop putting words in my mouth. That's a lie. I said
thought I
12
heard
rounds.
you say that.
12 rounds. 12 rounds. There's a difference.
I think you said a controversial decision.
How many times I gotta have a recorder on this bitch? Let me put that. You know what? It has to be in my intro. So Vanez 12 rounds. No, Triple G 12 rounds goes with Vanez. That is so everybody knows that I never said that shit. So it just repeats over and over again every time I come into the podcast.
The thing is, no boxing style. You've said plenty of other dumb shit, so it don't really matter.
Come on, I didn't say that many dumb shit, bro. Come on, let's be real.
No,
I mean, the worst one was El Dude. Oh, that was the best one. Ocampo.
Oh, what the Mexican midget? the Mexican midget El Dude.
Remember, he was telling us how he was gonna fucking that Champagne was gonna just. He was gonna just watch. He's gonna tweak out Spence, and then Spence just walked through that kid like a hot knife through butter, and then he fucking made a video showing how the fucking kid was winning. Oh my god,
it's ridiculous.
Demented.
Oh yeah, the El Campo fight. Oh god.
When Styles is calling you demented, right? When he says you're ridiculous. Nice.
I mean, he's so biased. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, the guy could be losing 12 rounds and be like, "Oh, it's a draw."
Now listen, that kid he's fucking showed his true colors in his video, and then he posted online. Like, it just goes to show you how. I mean, his brain thinks that way so much. His hatred for white America burns so deep in his soul that he thought putting it online was going to be a good thing. Like, put it on YouTube. Can you imagine?
Yeah, but that fucker's whiter than Canelo.
I don't think he's just on white. He's on black too. He's just full national.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Okay, yeah, but I know in the video he yelled "White America."
He's a Mexican mini-me.
If he would have yelled "Black America," they would have pulled that video. Probably would have been arrested.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, fuck that clown. I mean, he showed his true colours. You know, the guy is coming on this show again. Tried to fucking beg his way in a little while ago. I'm ready to debate, you know, and all that. Get the fuck out of it. You're never coming on our show again. Debate what? If I see your ass in the chat, I'm blocking you. It's a disgraceful human being, especially when you will not have that at the BDA.
Right? I mean, that was crossing the line right there.
That was deep.
This is a guy who did a video about bullying a homeless person, man, just sitting there minding his own business. The man's a cunt. I wish I was in that box. I wish I was me in that box. Even bothered.
Why do you drag us into it? I don't understand.
Did he say something about me? Because I never said, you know.
No, he said basically Jimmy raped a little autistic girl, and then we were laughing about it. That's what he said.
Right, yeah. So it wasn't bad enough. It was bad enough, right? That I'm fucking raping or special need girls, but you guys thought it was funny, right? So it was just disgusting. That just Straight up. Listen, that's cowardism at its height. Fucking touchscreen tough guy. That motherfucker. Oh, I don't even say. I'll get my fucking heart pumping. I gotta not even think about him.
He'll never come on this show again. A normal low plate, and like I said, low plate. I mean, his head top's getting taken up tomorrow. The video will be released.
Hey, I always wanted to say this. I always wanted to say this, Master. Hey, bro, do you do the commentation on FIFA, the game, FIFA 2019, 2018? Because you sound just like him, bro. The guy that actually it's like the voice is perfect. I'm like, I know this guy.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm still playing FIFA 18 because I heard the reviews on FIFA 19 were terrible.
It's all right. It was all right. It was okay. But I didn't. The graphics kind of.
I don't know. Yeah, I've heard that though. It's been getting some terrible ratings. So.
Yeah, but do you commentate on that shit? Because the guy that commentates, the British commentator, sounds just like you. Like, I'm like, this got to be him.
Yeah, dude, I'm not sure who. I don't know who he is. That's what I'm saying. Who's the commentator? Do you know?
Stu, I heard a British guy on TV a couple of weeks ago, just something like that. I just got out of the show. I'm like, fuck, Stu's on TV. Dude, this dude, I got him, it wasn't you, obviously. But, dude, I'm like, sounded just like you. That's why when he said that, I don't know if it was, but it wasn't FIFA. But, yeah, no, it's just like you.
I'm lucky because I can come on this shit because I'm actually from the south of England. And when you get to the north of England, the further north you go, then people start to struggle to, especially Americans and Canadians, start to struggle to hear and understand you. I mean, I think McGregor gets away that he's from Scotland, I think.
Wales is brutal. I have a hard time with the people from Wales.
AA Boxing, not McGregor. AA Boxing is Scottish, but because he's quite soft-spoken. I think he lives in England, so the twang of the Scottish accent sort of like not as strong, so you can understand him. But when you go up north in England, man, some of you wouldn't understand them, especially Liverpool and places like that. It made me laugh because when the Canelo Fielding thing was on, they had subtitles for Rocky Fielding on the zone. I thought, hang on a minute, Rocky Fielding's actually speaking the English language. They've got subtitles for it.
Where's he from? What town?
Who's that, Rocky?
He's from Liverpool.
From Liverpool, okay, yeah, right.
He's from where Callum Smith and all them is from. And
Birmingham, they have a real thick accent too,
Tony
right?
Bellew and all them.
Yeah, Birmingham, yeah, they do.
It's horrible. The Birmingham accent is hideous.
Where's
It's really slow.
Stu, I don't know if you know. Where's AA from? That accent. That accent is. That's not.
He's from Scotland, but
he's from Scotland.
He's from Scotland, but he lives in England and Leeds. So if he was still in Scotland, you probably wouldn't understand him as well. But I think because he lives in England, a lot of that rough Scottish twang's like left his accent sort of thing. I might be wrong, but
I feel like I got to pay.
He's quite understandable.
I feel like
kind of hard to understand.
I didn't know that. I didn't know you understood because obviously I understand him perfectly.
No,
I thought you guys did.
I understand him, but at the beginning it was a little tough. But you just pay a little bit of attention and you could start picking up on everything he's saying. But at first I was like, where is he from?
You see, with England, you can go 7-8 miles down the road and they've got sort of like a different accent. It's amazing, really. True. We've got so many accents in it. I mean, you can where I live, just go 10, 15 miles down that way.
In America,
it's completely different to our do.
In America, we have some heavy accents. Like you can tell, at least we can tell the difference. I don't know.
The California accent is the funniest. The California one is the funniest.
I've had an aversion with the letter R my whole life.
What do you mean?
Right, you see,
I do like. Hang on a minute. I do like the sound of a southern girl from the States. I mean, very sexy voice, sexy accent, shall we say? The deep South accent. I really like that. I do
the Dixie Girls.
Despise the.
No,
but the New Orleans accent.
Oh. Cameron's from there.
No, the favorite.
Definitely, bro.
Listen, stop. My favorite one. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, you go, brother.
Yeah, the funniest one has to be like the California and the Florida accent. This makes me laugh every time.
No, I like
Flo-
Stu. I
yeah.
like the Creole girls. I like the New Orleans Creole girls. You got that French Creole.
The Dolly Parton. Yeah, the Southerners like the Dolly Parton, that sort of country accent, especially on a female from there. Beautiful.
Right. It's weird. When I was in Europe, it's weird. I wouldn't have known, but I would say 90% of people. What's that, brother?
I just said New Yorkers. They sound like Italians, all of them.
Right. People in England knew where I was from. They would say, "You're from Boston, huh?" I'm like, "Ah, no shit." I think almost everybody.
People from New York sound like Jimmy, but Jimmy has there's certain words like heart, like he says hot.
Right, I know. That's why I have an aversion with the letter R.
Yeah, there's a difference between like New York and Boston, but actually the accent is pretty. Most of the words are pretty similar, except certain words like heart, right?
Jimmy.
Hot.
Yes.
Jimmy, can you say I'm walking here? Say it.
I'm walking here. Like how would I say it? Yeah, I'm walking here. That's how I'd say it, but yeah. I know, right?
Yeah, that's one thing. Obviously, because I mix with a lot of Americans on here, that's one thing I have picked up. The different accents, and because a lot of people would hear American just say, "Oh, that is a Yank, it's American." They wouldn't know where from. But with me, I can roughly judge. I'm not saying I could pick your town out, but I could judge what sort of area, whether it's the South or the West Coast or East Coast or something like that. You definitely tell the difference.
Yeah, I'm pretty good like that too. I can pick usually from England's tricky, but I knew that the farther south you went, the less. The Cockney, is that the word they use?
Yeah, that's
Cockney,
that's
the
London.
accent.
Yeah, but the actual Cockney accent, I mean, Apology will tell you this. It's not. I mean, it gets classed as a whole London thing, but you've actually got to be born near a church. It's got church bells, the Cockney bells sort of thing, and they ring every morning or so. And if you can't hear them bells, then you're not a Cockney. So you have to, where you ever live, you can hear them bells in the morning, that means you're a Cockney. But obviously it's been spread now. If you're from anywhere in London, you're classed as a Cockney.
See,
now.
That's what I love about the UK, dude. Your history,
Yeah. I mean, pity Jimmy cut off there because we're talking about. Yeah, we've got. I mean, I've got talking about history. When I used to live with my mother for a while. When I was waiting to move into a house, she's got a nice house, and across the road, it's this old church, 50. I think it's 1500, late 1500s. I think this church is. It's fucking old,
dude.
and there's
when I was in the UK, I was stunned by I love the. I was. What's that?
Jimmy, you cut out, bro. You cut out. We missed it all. You had to.
Shit, my phone's fucked up again, huh?
Yeah, you just cut out, bro. So I was just going to finish my story and let you come back in because
I carry on. All right, sorry, brother.
I was just saying that there's a church across the road from my mother's house. And I think it's late 1500s it's from. And we used to go around the graveyards all the time. And there was bodies in there from like the 1500s and 1600s. So there's dead bodies in the ground that had been there. And, it's just you got so old and so much culture in England. I mean, that's why a lot of Americans do come here because we've got fucking toilets in the town centre older than the States. Do you know what I mean?
That's why I wanted to go there, dude, for that exact reasons. Yeah. And I was there for 2 weeks, and I'll tell you, man, I enjoyed every day. That shit there, from the bridges, just then I saw the aqueducts in France, just the culture all the way back from the Rome. But Britain, to me, because it's isolated on the island, to me had such a rich, you can't just move there and become British. It's almost a mindset. You know what I'm saying? You're from there. Right. And it just, to me, they're polite people. It was family orientated. Great country. And to see what's happening right now, it actually literally breaks my heart.
Yeah, the funny thing is, when I was in the Staples Center, we had a lot of Brits from there for the Tyson Fury and Wilder fight. I was like, how is it in England? I'm like, it must be cool, right? I want to visit. They're like, no, man, it sucks. It sucks. Compared to Los Angeles is shit. I was like, all right, okay.
Yeah, but it's because it's new to them. Because you got to remember, America's it's all bright lights and entertainment. It's a different world to England. So when you go over there, you're amazed by by all the things that are
The
around you, the size
decadence.
of the.
Let's be honest, right? The decadence. It's the only thing we offer.
Let's be real. It's about at the end of the day, it's about the quality of life you can live. I mean, for me to live in America, you have to have half decent. You know, to live nice in America, you have to have half decent money to live in a nice area. I mean, it's like saying I'd rather live in America, but if I took you to Watts or somewhere like that, or East Side Detroit, you wouldn't be saying that, would you? So it depends where you mean in America. But for me, you have to have.
No, you have to have money
to-
if you want to live in a nice area. You do.
Yeah. In America, man, if you're sick in England, we just go to the hospital. We go to the hospital, just get dealt with. In America, but you best have life insurance. They'll let you fucking die on the hospital bed over there. Do you know what I mean? It's just
they will.
You do. There's certain things that England provides that America doesn't. It's a I don't know if it's a better living. I just think it's a less stressful living. I think because in America, you obviously, if you lose your job, then there's not really much healthcare you can get at the moment. There's not much benefits.
Well, we have Obamacare now, but it sucks.
Yeah,
I mean, I run on it, but
yeah. I mean, if I won the lottery, then I'd move to the States. I would.
No, man, you're already in the. I'd maybe buy a second home just so you could, come and visit and hang out. But England's awesome.
Yeah, but in the day, there's no sun in England half the time, and especially in the winter, and you get fucking sick over it with all the viruses and the fucking cold weather. You get sick of it. When you've got money, then I definitely would go to America and myself a nice second home sort of thing. But yeah, I'd like to go to Australia as well. I don't like the idea of getting bit by one of them fucking spiders.
Yeah, when you go to Australia, I had a friend from Australia. You have to be aware of like when you sit on a toilet, you gotta check if there's any bugs on that shit. Whenever you wear your shoes, you gotta check your fucking shoes. There's no bug in there.
You're talking about the funnel spider, right? The ones that in the Sydney, they're actually in the city. Actually, the thing that scares me about Australia is the fucking thing the size of your thumbnail, the box jellyfish that got a weird name.
It ain't just the spiders and shit, bro. It's the snakes.
Well, it's the most venomous island on the world. Everything fucking stings and bites you there.
Australia has more species in Australia than any other continent. Australasia, the more species in Australian land than any other country.
Yeah, they're all poisonous. Well, most of them are poisonous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Irrigondeaux. That was the name of that jellyfish. Anyways, it's the most toxic, and it doesn't even have a brain. But a fucking thing could, die. Some people can die within 9 minutes. A guy from Massachusetts died on his honeymoon. Got stung. Remember, that's always stuck in my mind.
Damn, that's a hell of a jellyfish to kill you.
Dude, it's the size of your thumb. Literally, your thumbnail is the crown, and then the tentacles go 8 to 12 inches. And the minute it hits you, boom. And there's nothing. Put this way, morphine doesn't even touch it. You go to YouTube later, watch people been hit. They'll be in a fetal position and cramping, screaming in agony, and the doctor say, "We got him as much morphine as we can give him," and it doesn't touch it. It's insane.
They say.
Have you noticed though? If you notice how hot Australia is, one of the hottest countries on the planet. You barely ever find an Australian with a suntan. It's like they never go out in it. It's. You find me in Australia, really, well, you might have a few chicks here and there that want to get brown, but most Australians, because we're obviously the cricket team, you never see them with tans. It's so hot out there, you don't want to be out in that heat all the time.
Well, look at the Aborigine people. They got the black skin with blue eyes and blonde hair from being in the sun. It's weird.
That's insane. Yeah,
that's how strong the sun is. Yeah,
I've always thought that was
that's why in Australia. Have you noticed in Australia? I think there's most of the cities are on the west coast, all on the beach, because obviously you get the sea air to cool the place down. I think Canberra, the original capital, is in central Australia, and that's ridiculous heat. That's like desert heat where there's no.
Yeah, all the cities, Darwin, they're all on the coast because it's just one giant desert.
Yeah, that's basically Aborigine land, that is. And then you've got Perth on the east coast, which I think is the only city on the east coast. Is Perth. It's like hours on a plane to the nearest fucking place in Australia, Perth. So it's very isolated, and but that's the only place. And the rest are on the east coast where you've got the sea breeze and the.
If I go to Australia, I'm gonna be dressed up like Crocodile Dundee, already with my hat and everything, my leopard boots.
But Perth, though, that's where all the salties are, though.
I didn't know you wear leopard boots.
I don't wear leopard boots, bro. No, I'm just saying, if I go to Australia, I'm gonna wear my leopard boots like Crocodile Dundee.
That's his metrosexual side.
I'll tell you guys, if you ever go to Australia, you know what the worst thing is nobody talks about? Especially if you go towards the center, you wouldn't even think this, right? You know what it is? Flies. Flies there are unbelievable. Stinging fucking sand flies or the ones that don't sting you. But most people walk around. If you go more than 100 miles inland, you have to wear nets for like 4 months of the year because they'll go up your nose. I mean, literally covered. And they go for moisture in your eyes, your nose. It's insane. Just a little fun fact. If you ever go to Australia, make sure you bring a net.
Sounds delicious.
I mean, I see two fucking Scandinavian cooks. Some went to liberal lefty cooks. They went on a backpacking trip to Morocco and got the fucking.
That's gonna be the
head
worst
taken
thing to
off,
call. The worst thing to be called, right? Stu, is like somebody referring to another man as a cuck.
But hey, not to denigrate the death, Stu. I just want to add. I wanted to add to that story, not to denigrate the dead girl, but this is almost a gigglish moment. Sorry for my black heart. The day before she left for her fucking trip to Monaco, she put on her Facebook an anti-white, pro-Muslim 5-minute ad, just to put that out there. And then 3 days later, a Muslim Islam cut her head off.
Are you on about one of the Scandinavians?
Yes, she posted a video, anti-white, pro-Muslim video, and pro-Islam and anti-white. It just denigrated whites, and then she got her head lobbed off for thank you.
Yeah, well, yeah, good. Well, she can meet her Allah quite quickly, can't she? Because at the end of the day, that's what happens with these fucking white liberals. They're so mentally ill. They actually that sleepwalking into their own oblivion. I mean, let's be real. Who goes?
Give them flowers in Germany.
Backpacking in the fucking. Oh, you go to Morocco. You go to the holiday resorts. You don't go backpacking in the fucking rural Morocco. You deserve to get your head taken off. And let's be real. They're stupid. They think that they live in this fluffy world where everyone's nice and polite and everyone's going to greet you with open arms. The next minute you've got a machete across your neck, and you deserve every bit of it.
Did you see what happened to that couple 6 months earlier? Fucking that couple on a bike ride, this young couple from the States, they said that the Islamophobia is ridiculous and it's the aggression towards Western it's a construct of the right. 2 weeks into their trip, it's on video. It's actually on YouTube. It's gross. They run them over, get out of the car and gun them down with machine guns and then drive away near the Chechnyan border. ISIS did it, actually.
I heard
ISIS members.
About that. I heard about that.
Members of ISIS. Yep. 2 more SJWs.
This is why I hate liberal whites. It's not against whites. I'm talking about.
No, I hate them. I hate them more than you.
I don't like these people. They're disgusting. They have no.
Yeah.
They have
Thank
no
you, Stu. You're right. They suck.
You know the worst thing about them? They're so condescending. Like they think.
Oh yeah.
For me as a black man, they think I need help when I don't need it at all.
The thing is,
help.
That's what they like.
They'll get everybody.
Apologies. Probably a fit, strong black dude. Yeah, that can handle himself. Yeah, he's got some fucking Rick Moranis looking motherfucker, right, coming up to him, right, trying to protect him from the white devils.
He could protect. Yeah. Telling Apology, who's a big fit, that he could protect them. Like, get the fuck out of here. You can't. You
can always tell an SJW white. Like, see, if I was on the street and I met you, dude, I'd talk to you like you were just anybody, right? Like you were just a nut. Like I would talk to Stu. Just your color, your skin wouldn't matter. You can always tell the people who are first to call another guy racist or, oh, that's racist. They talk to people of color, minorities, anything, like they're almost slow. They slow down. Oh, that's, and if you say you're in school, oh, good for you. Like it's, what do you mean good for me? What, I'm not supposed to be in college? You know what I mean? It's like fucking, it's just insane. The reason why they project that everybody's a Nazi, everybody's a racist, those people, because they are racists.
You know what I hate? I hate white Armenian liberals. That's what I hate. Can't stand those guys.
I hate the Indian tribe in the left part of fucking Blackfoot Mountain in Minnesota.
He said he hates the white Armenian liberals.
That's what I mean. This kid, man, he comes out with some fucking doozies.
Boxing style, man. You're a fucking. You're a walking. You're a walking. I lost my train of thought, but you get what I'm saying. You're the best.
I mean, I hear this shit all the time. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna come up with my own shit.
Wait. Let me finish. Let me tell you what I gotta say. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Anyhow, what are we guys talking about? Liberals?
Yeah.
Social justice.
I had situations with liberals too. Like when I was going to class, I mentioned something about Trump. Trump being doing something good or right or whatever. Next thing you know, like, oh, don't you dare say that shit. I mean, don't you have friends? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Your friends? Like, you know, that's how deep it goes. Like, you can't even say shit about Trump that let's say he did something good. You can't even say anything like that.
Where at college?
Yeah, at college, man. It's just fucking like, what the fuck? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I can say whatever I feel
it's
like.
Because the colleges are run by the fucking Marxist left. They're all radicals. They started doing that when I was in school. Like, all of a sudden, we come across a professor would start denigrating the white race. And I'm like, I know history. That's my thing. And I'm like, that's just not true what you're fucking saying.
Yeah.
It's just, listen, it's a part of the plan. It's a Marxist plan. You tear down the fucking people in charge, tear down their monuments, their culture, and then you have, and then the women in Germany giving roses to these people who are raping them. It's like fucking idiots.
I'll tell you what, right? I'll tell you what. The only way you're going to cure this disease that's riddled our planet is by getting a few fighter jets and flying over every university in the West and bombing the fucking lot of them with the students in them. I mean, it's a horrible thing to say. It's a fucking horrible thing to say, but they are not. You cannot cure these people. It's going to be too late. The damage will already be done by the time these people wake up out of their little fucking.
So you do that, you're gonna kill a boxing style, man. You're gonna kill a boxing style if you do that, bro.
Well, that's a sacrifice we're willing to take. That's a sacrifice we're willing to take.
Yeah, that's called killing two birds in one stone.
Did you guys see David Hogue, that fucking ultimate social justice warrior, is going to Harvard?
Oh God.
Yeah, he's coming. He'll be about 20-minute ride from my house. If I bump into him on the streets, I'm definitely going to be unkind. I'm not going to touch him. Christ, the kid has to run around the shower to get wet. He's got fucking arms. It's fucking ridiculous. But
if I'm walking down the road, if I'm walking down the road and I get a white liberal come and give me one of them speeches, he's going to sleep. I'm not messing about to sleep. I am cocking up cunt, right?
I like to shock him.
It will be Steve's. Yeah.
Well, you can't talk to them people. They're not going to listen to you. They stay away on the highway, so the best way to do is put them to sleep. And then they might wake up and realise they can't get...
You know what I do to get them to talk to you, though, right? You agree with them. What you do, right? You get into like in a quick... Oh, yeah, you know what? You act like you're on their point, and right at the end, you fucking hammer them with something. Hey, I don't know, BDAs, I want to tell you... you guys might have heard the joke. I heard it years ago, but they were talking about Nazis and how terrible it is. And I'm like, listen, I don't know nobody talks about Nazis. I know what it's like. I'm older than you guys. My fucking uncle died in a fucking concentration camp, right? All these fucking young kids are all quiet. I'm like, yeah, you know what? And he fell out of that guard tower, and his family didn't even get anything. They walked out the door.
Yo, Jimmy, yo, bro,
that's so brilliant.
Sorry to let you know, but I found a video. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, but it looked kind of legit. Of Hitler being alive in Argentina, 128 years old, bro.
Come on, man.
Get around, bro. I'm not even joking around. I'm like, how this motherfucker still alive, bro? Like 128 years old, and he looks just like him.
Yeah, he ain't alive, brother. Hey, Stu, did you appreciate that?
He claims him. He claims that he's Hitler. He actually does claim that he's Hitler.
Anyways, I think Jimmy was trying to say something.
No, I was going to say, Stu, did you hear what I said? Did you appreciate that joke?
about falling off the tower?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a brilliant
I knew you would appreciate it. Dude, I was just seeing how serious I was, too. I was like acting angry. Yeah, you know what? I know what it's like. My uncle died in a concentration camp, and they're all like staring on, hanging on every word. And I'm like, yeah, falls out of a fucking guard tower, and they don't even give him fucking nothing. And I turned around out of Dunkin' Donuts, and I walked out. Got my coffee, and I walked out like I was still angry. Dude, they're all staring at these Universal Low kids. They didn't know where to shit or go blind. And I had to hold my laughter until I got in the truck, and then I almost pissed myself. I never went back to that.
It's to see them
we're
say,
gonna get out, dude.
White supremacy needs to end. These white people talking about white supremacy needs to end.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they had a fucking went in.
White liberal females. What is it with the white liberal females? All of them are fucking pig ugly. They've not got any shape to them. They've got figures like 10-year-old teenage boys. They've got fucking buck teeth. I mean, bad skin. I mean, no wonder they fucking hate men. They can't get one for a start.
Yeah, Steve, that's why they're white liberals. Because if you look at like non-liberals, they're way.
They're all like space cadets. When they have that fucking march, they're all like fucking. It's like they've been brainwashed, like space cadets.
Cool, you're describing Cameron.
You know what feminist jokes? You know what a joke you tell a feminist? They love this joke too. Hey, you know what the fat feminist said to the other fat feminist? Who cares? They're fat chicks. Well, you say, when is it all right to spit in a feminist's face? When her mustache is on fire.
When is it okay to choke a feminist out?
When you meet her. Yeah, when you meet her.
Where's progressive BDA
how do you stop a feminist from drowning? Take your foot off her head.
Where's progressive BDA?
Wait. Let the person finish the joke. What was it?
Let him finish.
I said, what my joke on about?
Yes. I didn't get to hear it, Stuart. Go ahead.
I said, how do you stop a feminist from drowning? Take your foot off her head.
So yeah, I started laughing so loud. Yeah, I probably said that was good, man. I can remember that one.
Yeah. Where's progressive BDA when you need him?
Yeah.
I think he's at a communist march somewhere, really.
He's in
Bible
Bible
from
study.
Trudeau.
He let me know. He gave me a call. He said Bible study. He's hard at work preaching.
BDA is a man of God.
Spreading the word.
Okay.
What the fuck? Oh, wow, man, it's getting cold out, huh? Shit. Oh, sorry, mic's on. Hot mic.
I know where Jimmy's at. If he's in Boston, if he's out there somewhere. Yeah,
I just went outside to grab my dog,
cold,
man.
It's cold in New York, so I can imagine it's cold over there right now.
Is it snowing right now or what?
No, it's like a misty, hard drive. Listen, the Northeast, it's wet cold. Like you hear people in Alaska, I've been out wet Northwest, dude. It's a dry cold. It's nothing like here, man. It gets to your bone cold here.
Shit.
New York, though, I remember when I was younger, I used to always watch Hill Street Blues. Can you remember that?
Oh yeah, good show.
That was based in New York, weren't it? Hill Street Blues. Hello, Jimmy.
What's up, brother? I'm sorry, my phone checked out. What did you just ask about Hill Street Blues?
I said Hill Street Blues. It was based in New York, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. NYPD. Yep.
Well, I think it was. Yeah. Well, and every time we used to watch that, New York, it always looked like shitty weather over there, raining and snowing and dull. And that's just the thing I get from New York. It just doesn't look like. I know it's a very rich place, but
it's rich now. Still,
I live really.
It's rich now. When they started filming that, and listen, in the '80s, there was a reason why, like Manhattan was called the Zoo. There was open air drug sales. You could buy heroin where MTV is now. It was all either peep shows, fucking hookers. Listen, there was a fucking shithole. New York City in the '70s and '80s was brutal, and it was dark and just dingy. Fucking police were fucking. They used to say never step in front of an ambulance because it's you they're trying to hit. And there was no matter, I don't give a shit. It didn't rain in 6 weeks. There's always puddles in New York. I used to call them mystery moisture. Like, why the fuck is there always puddles? Yeah, no, that's
someone in the chat. Someone said in the chat that I'm exposing my boomer age. Basically, someone coming from the 60s because I mentioned Hill Street Blues.
You're a boomer.
Well, that was a 90s show, man, right? That ran in the 90s.
Yeah.
When I was
Hill
at
Street
New
Blues
York,
was 80s.
when I was
Was
at
it
New York,
80s?
80s. I was young watching that. I mean, because my dad used to like it. Back then there was only one TV in the house. We didn't have a choice what fucking channel to pick from, or go in another room to watch one in the fucking house. And
Hey,
I
when
had to
that
watch
one
what he
died,
wanted.
did you throw another one on top of it? Did you guys ever do that? When that was,
No,
you used to have a big console, then that one died, and you just do another one on top of the big
we
console.
moved on. We got a little portable in the kitchen with a fucking coat hanger as an aerial sort of thing. Back in the good old days, the 80s.
And British comedy was awesome. Monty Python, Benny Hill.
Yeah, I remember that.
Benny Hill, yeah.
Benny Hill would be
watched
if Benny Hill was if Benny Hill was around today, the fucking British government would have locked him up for perversion.
Yeah, definitely.
There was another show, the fucking not Kids in the Hall. There was a British troupe in the 90s. One kid had that orange hair. They were funny as fuck too. Long hippie. I can't remember that name. That was a funny show in the UK.
You're on about the young ones.
Young ones, there, bang. That's it, brother. Exactly, the young ones.
You're on about Neil. You're on about Neil, the hippie, isn't you?
Yeah.
He used to get like, he used to fucking smoke dead insects and all sorts of kind of resin.
Yeah, that was a funny fucking show, man.
The young, going back the years now. The young ones. Have you seen Only Fools and Horses, Jimmy?
Yes. Yep.
I've seen a few episodes of that. That's actually pretty decent.
Only Fools and Horses is the greatest British comedy of all time for me.
what is it?
Only Fools and Horses is the greatest British comedy of all time. Proper comedy, that is. Back before the UK was political correct.
What's it called again? Only Poors and Horses?
Only Fools and Horses.
Only Fools and Horses.
You know what?
So that stuff with boxing styles will be in.
Only Fools and Horses. I'm checking that shit out big time.
Stu, this guy might not
Holy
be popular
porn.
there because he married Madonna, but that dude, Guy Ritchie, his two movies, the Gypsy movie with
Damn,
Brad
she was
Pitt.
married to him too?
Snatch was funny. Snatch was funny as fuck.
Snatch was fucking dude. That's Bricktop, and then his other one, Aces and the ones with the guns. A lot of the same people from
the one in Snatch. You go when they go up to Vinnie Jones with the balaclavas and they've got the replica guns in it.
Yeah.
They go to Vinnie Jones. What are you giving it the big one for? You got 3 guns pointing at you. And he goes, and Vinnie Jones turns around and goes, well, the fact that I've got the fact that you've got replica written on the side of your gun and I've got Desert Eagle written on the top.
5.0, yeah. Hey, and the best way is the way they went, dig, 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 dig. You know what I mean? And like the camera angle, in a way it hit every letter, replica, and then
Boris Warren, the best. Boris,
yeah.
Stu,
they couldn't kill.
Stu, Shepherd's son in the chat said Blackadder. Do you remember that?
Oh, Blackadder with what's his name? The guy from Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson. Yeah, I remember Blackadder.
Mr. Bean.
Yeah,
that dude's a funny prick, Mr. Bean.
Dude,
man.
I used to remember being high as a youngster and just watching that shit. I just sit there quiet. The next thing you know, I'm like, this is a funny looking motherfucker, man.
I mean, most of that's back when British comedians were fucking brilliant. I mean, we had Billy Connolly, and now we've got Russell Brand and transgenders and lesbians. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, Russell Brand,
Alan Carr.
Yeah, whatever he is, Batty, isn't he? But we've got him, and it's just terrible. It's cringy.
There's no more good comedy anymore.
That dude,
comedy anymore, man.
That Mr. Bean, what's that? Leo Atkins, was that his name?
Rowan Atkinson.
Rowan Atkins. Have you guys ever seen him meme a fucking drum set? Have you ever seen that skit when he memes, like tunes the drum and there's nothing there and he just does it in a meme? It's unbelievable. You can tell the dude obviously plays drums, but it's so insane. I'm telling you, he's a funny fucking prick.
No, you've got to check Only Fools and Horses out. It's about he's a bit of wheeling dealer, and he's always buying pieces of shit and trying to sell them. He rips his mates off and everything. But it's so funny. It's definitely that's when BBC used to bring out some good material many moons ago. But yeah, that's the one you want to check. There's no better comedy for me.
Because we live in this political correctness world now, man. The comedy today sucks, man.
It's so dry.
It's so fucking whack.
Yeah.
You can't talk about this. You can't talk about that. You can't talk about this shit. It's
there's a message. They always try to put the message in it too. Like they're always trying to they're virtue signaling. You know what I mean? They want to teach us.
Because
like, I want to laugh.
Hey,
we
recognize
that. It's like, shut up, man. I don't want to hear your fucking
recognize.
politics.
We used to have, back in the day in England, we used to have a comedian called Alf Garnett, right? He was a West Ham fan, an old guy, about 70. And back then, he used to call black people coons and sambos, and he'd get away with it on the show. He'd go, oh, look at that wog over there, and things like that. Proper racist guy he was. He was known for being a racist. And he was accepted. Everyone laughed at him back then. He'd go to prison if he did that now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Jimmy, recognize, do you remember the comedian who told the rape joke about his sister and he got in trouble for it?
I think I read about it. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, yeah, me neither, but it was a pretty good joke, but that he can't say stuff like that anymore. He got in huge trouble. I think he got like fired and he lost his sponsorship.
To be fair though, like I said, Alf Garnett was, I mean, even for my era, it was very cringy. He was the era before me where you could get away with racism, but he was quite bad. Bernard Manning as well. They were quite bad and they would never last today. That's for sure.
Comedy hit its peak, well, even before my era, but, you know, in the 75 to 85, that was when it was at its raunchy with Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy doing big concert sales. And put it this way, when I saw Eddie Murphy, you want to see how he opened up his set? Because Eddie Murphy, this was when first political correctness started to grab hold in the 90s, right? When he first, and so gay people were protesting out in front of Boston Garden where he did his show. He gets on stage. It was on the fucking Raw tour. The first thing he said, right, he goes, "Y'all see the mad faggots out front?" That's the first thing he said. Like, you couldn't say that now. You'd be crucified.
Oh, they'll want to laugh, but they'll be like, boo, boo.
But now, dude, listen, homosexuality, they're shoving it down. Listen, I know gay people, right? And they're more conservative than me. They can't stand the flamboyancy. They can't stand when it's thrown in people's faces. And he's, like he said, and then he said the transgender people trying to glob on with us.
No, Jimmy,
like, we don't want that shit.
Have you seen the read the article about the 11-year-old boy
Diamonds,
10-year-old boy.
Yeah,
the kid who was on Good Morning America. People were clapping. Yeah. Dude, that was, I saw that.
They openly celebrate like these pedophiles. That's what they are, man.
Yeah,
dude, that was disgusting. Good Morning America.
Children transitioning as well.
10 years old. He's only 10. And he's out there stripping for money, or not?
What the hell? That was the next.
Excuse me. He's performing for money.
What it was? He was on Good Morning America on right. He was on Good Morning America on a Friday, and he sashayed his little ass down the fucking walkway, and he's fucking people clapping. It's like the death of Western culture right there. I'm like,
hell out of here with that gay shit.
Right. So they're fucking clapping. Then the Saturday night or the Sunday night. And it wouldn't have even got found out, but put it this way, there was actually gay people who were so offended, they left the club and then tweeted about it and took video. What it was, he got invited to a gay club at 11 years old, got up on stage, started doing a striptease, and guys started giving him money. And I guess from what the video, a bunch of people... No, the fucking DA said they're going to investigate it.
Have you guys?
That's what Hollywood and the music industry are pushing us, is perverse behavior. I mean, you're seeing it a lot from the singers, especially the females. I mean, I had a movie on. I had a movie on. I left it on. I had a movie on. I left it on because I was on my computer, and it sort of played onto the next movie. And I got the drift of it. It was like a young chick flick movie for young girls, and it was about them losing their virginity. And obviously, this is like for 15, 14-year-olds, and they're talking about having 10 cocks in their mouth and getting licked out and everything. This is a movie for children, man. I swear down, I couldn't believe what I was fucking seeing.
Is it just me, or does like every movie that's PG these days have a sex scene in it?
Yeah, it's all sexualized. Yeah.
Oh well, yeah, but I mean that's been going around for a while. Because I remember when growing up, you couldn't see Van Damme without him with his arse out, giving it the fucking slimy one. I mean, he was always on top, giving it the old Belgian.
You know, you were checking that shit out, weren't you? Still.
Oh, boxing style. You're the one that checks bodies out. Let's be real. You go to weigh-ins and look at the breast and the six-pack. Look at that.
Boxing styles.
We talked about that
You look
last
at
night.
Tyson Fury. Look at Tyson Fury's wang.
Dude, I don't
boxing
check out
style.
Tyson.
Boxing style.
Anyways, I was gonna say something. Have you guys checked out Will Smith?
Because he's got shaved chest or some aerodynamics.
What are you talking about aerodynamics, bro?
I said you're the sort of guy to pick a guy to win a fight because he shaves his chest and he's better aerodynamics.
Hey man, that helps out, bro. You never know.
Anyways,
it's my turn now. I was gonna say, have you guys heard of Will Smith kissing his kid, like on the lips and shit, more than one?
Like he's harassing, like clearly harassing his son, like to give him a kiss on TV.
Yeah, dude. Whoa. Get out of here with that gay shit.
Yeah, I'm not joking. I saw that shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Look, Dad, look, it's bad enough that I ain't come out with your height. Now you're gonna kiss me on TV.
It's nasty, man.
Think about it.
Think about
nothing. He didn't come out nothing his father's size or anything. He's like a little feminine dude, and then his father's gonna kiss him.
Oh, he's a fucking. He fucking riles me up. I can't be done with that kid. Every time he's in the movie, I want to fucking throw the remote.
Speaking of Will Smith, do you guys know? Do you guys know that they're making Men in Black with a woman as the leading role?
Oh
yeah,
I saw that.
No, of course it is, and she's gonna do the work that Will and Tommy did, combined into one. She's gonna be better than both of them.
He's with Liam Neeson as well.
Who's watching these movies? That's the crazy part to me.
Nobody. These movies are absolutely bombing. Like the last Ghostbusters didn't even make back its budget.
Don't be suspected. The next Iron Man will be his wife. Stark will die, and the wife will take the costume over. You can bet your life.
Remember the girl that was in Ghostbusters, the chick, the
gorilla chick.
Yeah, she is ugly.
She's ugly.
That
that's Harambe's ex-wife.
Milo Yiannopoulos.
Leslie Jones.
Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos. I know you're talking about.
I mean, I have to get a great film and turn it into a pile of shite. I mean, that Ghostbusters was awful, god awful. I mean, it was embarrassing that someone actually come up with that idea and put it together and thought that it'd actually do well.
Hey, Stu,
come on.
Did you see Creed 2?
Creed 2 was
I
haven't seen
Creed. I actually enjoyed Creed 2. I'm not gonna lie. I thought the first one was shit. I hated it, but I actually liked. I like the fact that they brought the Dragos back, and I like the story about where Creed came back and put things right in the second fight and dominated. I liked all that. I liked the storyline. You know, I must admit, I thought it was an enjoyable film.
No, man.
And it's been a while. It's been a while since I've enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed Black Panther, to be honest with you, but I could smell the political stuff coming out of the screen.
Yeah,
I mean,
Black Panther was okay.
Creed 1 was all right, bro. The first one was okay. It was good. I didn't give it a chance at the beginning, but then I actually gave it a chance. It was actually pretty good. I liked it. Second one, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yo, John, what's your opinion on all of this?
On all of what?
What we're talking about?
Like movies and them sucking and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't go to I don't see that bullshit, man.
I haven't been to the theaters in like 2 years.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything new, man.
I mean, I go theaters regularly. There's some good films on, some bad films.
I fucking took my daughter to watch it. I took my daughter to watch Suicide Squad, and I think it cost me about £55 fucking pounds I spent in there.
Jesus Christ,
that's awful. Suicide Squad's awful.
Well, yeah, £55. I mean, £5 for a drink each. That's a tenner for 2 drinks. Then you're talking about £8 for the popcorn each. Then it's like 20. Then it's 20 quid because she wanted to watch it in 3D. I mean, fucking 3D.
Oh,
I got 3D. I got a 3D telly, right? And I can't remember the last time I put them 3D glasses on. Do you know what I mean?
Where was this? The Beverly Hills of London?
What? No, it's just in the normal local cinema.
Jesus, bro.
That English inflation.
Where do you come up with this shit?
Exactly.
Top of my head, bro. Top of my head. It's Beverly Hills of London, bro. You pay like £50. That's like $100 and
Boston
shit.
Styles. Did you get shot in your head during your tours or something?
What?
Did you get shot in your head during your tours?
No, man, no.
Are you sure?
A couple of whizzes, that's about it, man. A couple of whizzes.
I think you got
Maybe
shot in
the
the
wind,
head, man.
maybe the
Sound
wind
like
had an effect, bro. Maybe the wind. Kind of like battles like Mind.
What's your opinion? I mean, this guy is fucking disappointing. I used to be a massive fan of fucking Robert De Niro, but he's become a right piece of shit lately.
I think he's just getting
Robert.
old.
I just like I said, it's just I don't like it when they get involved with politics and start slagging the president off. I mean, stick to fucking killing people in movies and leave Trump in the country.
One of my favorite movies from him was Heat. Man, that was a bad fucking movie. I like that movie more than all his gangster movies.
De Niro is slowly becoming a queer in my eyes. Like,
yeah, he is.
Yeah, he said he's gonna punch Trump in the face. I'm like, dude, if you're not gonna do it, stop talking. You know, like
who said that?
De Niro. So if you're not gonna do it, don't say shit like that. It's fucking ridiculous. You're making yourself look like an idiot.
So they just don't make. They've got all the special effects and for these movies. Yet they can't replicate what they did in the 80s and the 90s. I mean, their movies are just so much better because they had to concentrate more on storyline and action than actually the special effects. I mean, it's like the Man of Steel. I mean, the destruction that it caused in that film, it was just over the top. You know what I mean?
He's supposed to be Superman.
Yes, but it was just over the top with a lot of the graphics.
He's actually supposed to protect the buildings from receiving that much damage.
I mean, I think he did about $6 billion worth of damage, didn't he? Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's just
property damage to a minimum.
Over the top with the graphics and the dramatic sort of thing. Sometimes you can keep it simple and it can be very enjoyable. Like Predator, we was talking about that the other day. A simple movie just made in the jungle with a few guys with an alien chasing them. Fucking one of the all-time great movies.
Have you seen
one of the all-time great movies?
The newest one was pretty good, man. I watched the new.
I
didn't mind it. No, I didn't mind it.
Man, it was funny.
It was shit.
It was funny.
It was so shit. It's like children playing.
He's like your mom.
Predator game.
Your mom is EA, ready for everyone.
Just films like The Running Man was a classic when I was younger. I watched that all the time. The fucking Stallone Rambo, I loved it. First Blood, man. I must have watched that film 300 times. First Blood. They were great films.
Fight Club.
Bloodsport.
Fight Club.
Bloodsport. No, Bloodsport with Van Damme. Great movie. I mean, cheap budget movies really compared to today, and they've fucking smashed these new movies out of the water. Look, the old Star Wars, the New Hope 1979 version is still probably the best Star Wars they've ever made. These new ones were a patch on that. So they're just, for me, they've ruined a lot of great brands. They really have.
They make the prequels look like masterpieces.
Why haven't they brought out a new Back to the Future? Where is the new Back to the Future? All right, I know Marty what's his name?
Marty McFly.
Who played Marty McFly?
It was like something Fox.
Michael J. Fox. J. Fox, he's got Parkinson's disease, so he obviously can't do the.
From all that time traveling.
He can't do the role.
Jesus Christ!
They could make that film. They could bring that film and do something good with it, but damn well they'll ruin it like they have done everything else.
Yeah, they will. So let's hope they don't.
I saw this article where they made a new rule in the army where commandos aren't allowed to yell at women.
Damn.
Look at
you. Yeah, go ahead.
Go on, apology. Go on, sorry, bro.
Yeah, real quick. The army's fucked when you can't do stuff like that. When
we're all gonna die now.
You have to,
look at the yeah.
I got out just in time with Don't Ask, Don't Tell shit coming out. It's like, oh, thank God I'm out of here.
Just getting back to the movie sort of thing. Like even the Vietnam movies, the war movies, like fucking Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket.
That's
is one of
my
the great.
favorite. One of my favorite
That is
films.
probably
It's so
that is in my
funny.
top three.
It's
Top
so
three
funny.
great.
Oh my god.
Especially the bit with Private Pilot or the training bit.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is
just
hilarious.
superb.
And that
God.
fat guy always failing.
Chop that ass up my obstacle course, Private Pilot.
He's like, and only people that come from, was it California or steers or queers? So which one are you?
Yeah. You don't look like a steer to me.
What about when he made him? All right, get on your knees now. Choke yourself. And he put his hand down. He made him choke himself. Yeah, they started doing that because once they couldn't hit recruits anymore physically. They started doing different tactics, like bridging you in the top of the nose. They would have that DI drill sergeant fucking brim, that big round, and they would yell at you and catch you right in the bridge of your nose with it. Get past all that, they couldn't hit you. But what country can't they yell at the commandos? Can't yell at women?
The U.S.
Really? What, they have women in the commandos?
They have women all over the army.
Jimmy, women always get stuff they don't work for or earn.
Oh God, that's harsh.
Fucking, that's sad. I mean, what the fuck? Imagine being a team SEAL, Team 6, whatever that SEAL 6 team. Man, we're running late. She has to stop and get her fucking tampons. You know what I mean? Can you imagine that? Oh my God.
Wait a minute. I forgot my tampons.
When you see it, I mean, like when you see them Vietnam movies and what them guys actually went through in that jungle, that's not a sort of place. That's not a sort of place you put any female.
Well, exactly. That's just basic science and basic honesty. Yeah. That somebody is not qualified for a job, you don't hire them for it.
And then when they get hold of one of them females as a hostage, do you think they're not? Do you think they're going to keep it by the United Nations laws?
If there was a woman in a chopper when they went to kill Obama, on the way there, she would have been trying to talk everybody in. Well, maybe we should hear him out.
SEAL Team 6 is actually the 6th tampon she puts up her vagina.
It's just they don't have the right mindset.
Seals it up. SEAL 6.
Any great movies? Before we go, we're going to go soon. Any great movies that you want to talk about from that? We'll give it another 10 minutes.
We were just in the longest conflict in U.S. history, but why isn't there any movies coming out about fucking? Because why? Yeah. Because you can't. Hollywood's afraid to do anything to make the Muslims look bad, or Iran. You know what I mean? So that's because why wouldn't it? There's so many, like Fallujah. There was good battles. There could be good movies, war movies made. Why aren't nobody doing it?
Even London's Fallen. They made it clear that it was the British' fault that this was happening for the things they did in the Middle East.
Isn't that one? Listen. 30 years they lived under fucking that cocksucker. He was gassing Kurds. He was killing Shia at a whim. His son would execute women who didn't suck his dick right. When we kicked that motherfucker out of there, the people are in the streets going nuts. The fact that they can't get along, the Shia and fucking Sunni, and they want to just blame it on us. You know what I mean? Big different story once they pulled the statue down and we're free finally under the fucking oppression. Fuck the weapons and
I think the Zionists have got their eye on Jimmy. The Zionists have keeping a good eye on Jimmy.
I don't think that's all bullshit, man. Like you guys, that's the reason why I don't pay attention to politics. This Illuminati crap is like controlling this shit. Whatever there is no bank that they can have their hand on, that's where they invade. Like North Korea is one of those places now. And they're putting all the fucking emphasis around that area. Anywhere that they don't really pay much attention. I guess they give like a little bullshitter for the Russians, but that's about it. I mean, the Russians they're under their control too. The Illuminati, this little fucking Masonic fucking group. So that's why I don't give a fuck what happens in the politic world, unless it's something that involves my well-being.
Well, you won't want to talk about. You want to get back onto the movie topic, then, won't we?
Yeah.
Movie topic, anyone? Like I said, with the politics boxing style, like I said, it's got so pathetic now. I don't even want to talk about it anymore because it's these people are fucking demons. These politicians are demons. I mean, how could you basically encourage the destruction of your own people, sort of thing, and sit there with a smile on your face? It's a bit like It's a bit like George Soros, isn't it?
What I'm hearing is this what you call it, the clock, whatever the debt clock that's going on, 20 trillion, something like that, right? Yeah, that's like a ticking time bomb for them to eventually turn this shit around to a feudal system. That's what they're thinking about doing.
Well, that's what you had when you had Obama borrowed more money than every president before him combined.
Yeah,
and left office after borrowing fucking $1 trillion.
These motherfuckers are trying to get back to the feudal system, man. They're trying to do that shit. There's bit by bit, they're taking away the guns, and they're trying to do that in the U.S., but they're failing at all costs.
I see a video today where the fucking French were fucking smashing the policemen off their motorbikes and everything. They're attacking them. It's kicking off in France. Macron is he's gone, mate. He can't keep that position for much longer. I mean, especially in a Western country. I mean, it's like fucking. You expect it in the Middle East or somewhere when they rise up, mayhem kicks off. But in a Western country,
all these shootings that you hear, right? Every now and then, every year, you hear something like some crazy amount of massacre that happened somewhere. That's all made for, like in the U.S. particularly, it's for just to get rid of guns. Once they get rid of all the guns, we become more sheep.
And the issue really isn't even guns. If people just raised their kids properly, the issue would be solved.
Yeah, but they try to fuck you up with the media and shit.
But you can't tell people that they're not raising their kids right, because that's offensive.
Pretty much. That's also another thing.
Man, it's definitely not guns, because London just proved that. For years, all we ever heard was how violent the United States was.
The U.S. is the main thing, bro. Once they get rid of it in the U.S., that's all it takes. I mean,
no, but my point is, they got rid of the guns in London, and they still surpassed New York City this year in homicides from stabbings.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, so you outlaw guns, only outlaws going to have them. Because I'll tell you right now, absolutely no American that I personally know on a personal level, including myself, is giving up their guns. They can take them, but it's going to be out of my cold, dead hands. I swear to God.
No, I keep hearing what a credit these people are that are coming over to the Western world and what they bring to the country. But anyone that wants to come over and get a gang and stab another human being to death is definitely not someone you want.
Oh, you mean? Do you mean non-Western people are great for the West?
What I mean is, these white liberals will tell us that these people are coming over to enrich the country.
Oh yeah, non-Western people
helping, and that is a case in some occasions. But what I'm saying is, yeah, when you see a lot of these London stabbings, these are all people from a certain demographic, shall we say, and they're killing each other. Now, what credit are these? You know, what are these people bringing to our nation apart from a crime statistic?
Well, I learned another reason why they're doing that too. Because
let's be real, this is not English white people or anyone else doing these stabbings. You just look who the ones are.
It's African gang members from Sudan.
Just from a lot of them are from African families and Islamic backgrounds, and they're stabbing each other daily. And you know, what can you say? These are the people that
what blows my mind is history's there, Stu, for these politicians. In no time, and they don't even deny it. They brag about it in the Quran.
Well,
and
actually, they know that already. The reason they're bringing those people over is because slowly, as the society is progressing, there are more guys like Jimmy and Stu that are actually coming up. So one technique that they're using is that in order to prevent the liberal prerogative from fizzling out, is they're going to bring more people from other countries in order to increase their size, so they have a better chance.
Like I said, this is not me picking on anyone. If anyone wants to come to a country, work and live by the rules and grow, bring a family up, whatever, then I'm fine with that. No matter where you're from. But if you're coming over and all you're doing is hanging the streets all day in a gang and stabbing other young teenage boys up to death, then what the fuck are you bringing to our country? Why are you here?
What people got to understand is the policy. You know what it is, Stu? It's the policy. It's not really the people. Why? Here's how it goes, right? Look, if I give you incentives to be a bum, who do you think is going to come here? Who do you think is going to come? It's not going to be the best part, the better people of a certain country, the guys and girls that are well off, right? That you wouldn't see this kind of activity from them. You're going to get the lower element of those countries that are going to come here, and there's an incentive for them to be here, so they know that, you know. Well, if they don't know, they'll soon find out that the political machine is behind them. So in other words, they can commit these crimes. They'll try to hide it so that it won't seem as bad. But even though we know, like, the people that are living through it every single day, they really know who's committing these crimes, right? They'll try to say, well, you know, there's no difference between immigrant crime rate versus the regular population's crime rate. That's actually not true, right? Statistically, it's not true at all.
Yeah, I mean, you're spot on. Apology. I recognise. Sorry, spot on. I mean, it's sad, really, because you don't like to see young boys being killed, no matter where they're from, and they're getting stabbed up over YouTube videos and. I mean, I watched one where a poor guy got stabbed to death because he was actually in the background of a music video on YouTube that was beefing with another crew, and because he happened to be in the background dancing, he got it. I mean, yeah,
I saw a music video where, as they were filming the music video, a guy got jumped. It was in a 6ix9ine video where they're singing the song, you know, talking about on the regular, and then it shows a dude getting jumped on a sidewalk.
Wow. It's a sad world we're living in, really. I mean, I felt bad actually bringing my young boys, my twins, into this world. I didn't want to bring them into a world like this, and I didn't have a choice, really. You know what women are like. You know, when they say they're having them, what can you do? So I didn't want to bring boys into this world. I didn't. It's a fucking hellhole we're living in. Even when you live in the nice areas away from it all, you still look around you, and it's sad seeing how certain places have become and how dangerous society has become. You know, it's sad affairs.
It's dangerous, but you know what? This is, you know, look, I still believe that common sense will always override the nonsense, and this shit will, if it needs to, you know, we might need a civil war in America or in England.
I totally agree. I mean, that's not something I want to see.
No, it's something that I don't want to see. Trust me, I don't want to see. And they'll be defeated because they always are. Like that communism.
Because they're losers.
Right, communism doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
The reason we get stuff like communism is because in a society that's based on winners and losers, a lot of times there can only be one winner. So you're always going to have more. You're always going to have more losers than winners.
Exactly.
So eventually the losers are going to try to collude together and overpower the winners.
That's right. That's right. Communism is.
The funny thing is about the left. The funny thing about the left is that they're all basically Marxists and communists. All ideologies that come from the former Soviet Union. They always attack the Russians. You know why they attack the Russians? Because the Russians got rid of that fucking hideous ideology and they've moved on. And that's why they hate the Russians, because
that's why they hate communism today.
The Soviet Union was the heartbeat of communism, and the Russians destroyed it. Because let's be real, the Russians broke up the Soviet Union, because once Russia pulled out, it fell to pieces. So
yeah.
That's why the left attack Russia on a constant basis, because the communism actually turned Russia to the right, and that's what it's doing to the Western countries. It's so sick. It's such a sick ideology. It actually turns nations to the right, and if you're not careful, it'll be the far right.
That's why. Let me tell you something. That is why they hate Putin so much, because they realized that he was a nationalist, not a globalist. He was a nationalist, and they said, "Oh fuck." You know, he's the new Hitler. you know what I'm saying? And the left continues to attack him, and the way they attack him is by claiming this collusion between him and Trump, and that's how they attack Trump.
And look at the UK. Look at that pathetic witch in charge, or blaming Russia for everything. I mean, someone falls on a banana split in the street and bangs their head. It's a fucking Russian fucking agent, the KGB that did it. I mean, it's pathetic. You know, they're just being the Zionist little bitch, attack or the communist little bitch, shall we say, by attacking the Russians. I mean, that's where it's coming from. I don't care what anyone says.
How is she still in charge? How is she still in charge? Like, fucking hell, man.
Because
go on,
you know what? They're just jealous because Putin rides a bear on his back. You know, he mounts that shit and he rides it like a horse. And none of their fucking chieftain, like their prime ministers or our president, like Trump, he doesn't do that shit. That's all it is, bro. That's what it comes down to. He's the boss. He's a thug.
I tell you what, right? The Americans, a lot of Americans shit on Trump and call him all sorts of things. He has said some very bizarre things, right? But words don't hurt. It doesn't. If that guy is doing the job and doing the right by your people, you should get by him. Because I tell you what, when he's gone and one of these globalists gets in charge and you end up with a Trudeau or a Macron, you'd be crying for Trump to come back.
And you receive your check and they talk about they're taking 50% out of that.
Well, as long as you're not at the top, it doesn't matter, right? Because you get taxed less.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Because the people that are at the bottom, they're always going to be losers. They're just trying to drag everybody else down with them. So they want the people who are actually in control and who have money and who have prosperity in life.
Putin actually done very good. All jokes aside, Putin done very good for Russia. That's why he keeps getting elected over and over again. I mean, if you check their national debt and where it's going, it's actually going down from where I remember. Yeah, they're pretty good, and that's why he's pretty good. That's why they keep electing him over and over again. Not because he's a dictator or anything like that, but then again, he does also have a lot of connections to the KGB.
The whole of Europe, that European Union is crumbling.
Shit.
I mean, let's be real. The European Union. I mean, anyone with a fucking brain could see what was going on here. This was another way that the failed communists from Europe, from Eastern Europe especially, where they've tried to bring the Soviet Union back, but they've called it a different name. I mean, but the clue is in the name: the European Union, the Soviet Union. I mean, the clue is there when you look at their policies and you look how they've got one flag, one army. I mean, they are bringing the Soviet Union back to Europe. But like I said, it's going to fail. It's going to fail, and it's going to crumble like the old Soviet Union does. Because communism, socialism,
the European Union are your biggest enemies. Are Europeans' biggest enemies?
Exactly. This is like the Cold War all over again, but with the European Union instead of the Soviet Union.
The European Union is about destroying the European indigenous people. That's what it's about.
And
I'll tell you what, the thing is, it's crumbling. It's crumbling. Far right groups are getting in power in Europe. You've got Spain, Italy. You've got Macron on his heels. You've got Merkel's gone. Merkel's finished. Fucking another communist from East Germany. Angela Merkel was born in East Germany, Berlin, under communism, and then she has the cheek to call her party the Christian Dem. It's just a communist party with a Christian name attached to it. This woman has been a communist since day one. And so that's why we're getting the policies that you get in Germany. She's done. She's done for. Finished. She's had to resign as Chancellor. I think she'll be gone next year or something. But everywhere you go, I mean, Holland's getting very far right. I mean, even the Swedes are starting to fight back. The Danish have brought out a law where if Muslims won't shake people's hands, they're not allowed to come or something, and it's against extreme Islam. You're not allowed to shake females' hands. So they've brought like a law out to try and discourage them to come over.
And this is in Germany. This is in Germany.
Denmark, that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
the tide is changing, and this is what the thing is. A lot of the anger is not actually at these people that are coming over, because anyone's going to take that chance if they can get better. Like, the anger is that the European Union, and they're going to, and the people that the European Union are going to pay the price if it kicks off. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. You've got to have some sort of border control. Like Trump says, if you don't have borders, you don't have a nation. And when you start taking people's pride,
That's
the
right.
nation from them, when you take the nation from them, then all hell's going to break loose, and that's
It's
what's
just
happening.
like it's
The
just like a
European Union is
house.
done. Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah, you need
This
doors
is
in front of
honestly,
your house.
this is what I hope happens when it all blows up in these white liberals' face. I hope they're the first ones to get killed. I'm being honest with you.
Me
I hope
too.
they're the first ones that get destroyed
Yeah,
by
recognize how.
them
Yeah,
protecting the shit, by calling other people who don't agree with it, other whites, racists, non-whites, coons and traitors that say, listen, this is not good for any country. For you to let
Yeah.
invaders just come in
yeah.
who don't believe in your values, that don't
Listen,
I mean,
you shouldn't let these
like
people in here.
this civil war is not going to be about picking out a race of people. This is going to be picking out people and their ideologies. The liberals, the lefties, the communists. They're the sort of people you have to arrest and put in jail for treason. You don't just pick on someone because some say some black guy who's working at 9 to 5 every day, working for his family, never done anything. What are you going to go pick on him for, man? It's not about that. It's picking on these fucking scumbag, treacherous liberals, like especially the white liberals. That's who I'm going to go.
yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, they do now. Russia, like they arrested a lot of feminists after they started protesting in the front of
because they
some
were
church or
toxic.
something. Yeah, and they started assaulting officers, so they started to arrest them and put them in jail.
Yeah, you give leftists an inch, they'll take a mile, and before you know it, you're not allowed to say anything. You've got to agree with all these genders they're coming out with. You've got to,
That's what
you've got to
subversive
accept a
movements
man
do.
taking a dick in the ass. Do you know what I mean? It's just.
Stu, that's what subversive movements do. You give them an inch, they'll try to take the whole yard, right? They'll try to, they'll try to fuck you in your ass. In other words, that's what they're all about. You cannot give them anything, and this is why I hate the liberal mind. Whether you're white, black,
That's
Hispanic,
just
or any
society
other
in general too.
The worst thing I hate are liberals. Or not the true definition of being a liberal. I'm talking about this leftist ideology, this far left communist ideology. Remember, these governments, these forms of government cannot work, or these forms of policy cannot work without it having a pattern, and it's a behavior pattern. This is why it's appealing to certain people. If you're a person that views yourself as a victim, you're a communist. If you just don't realize it, you don't have the mindset to understand the difference between you being somebody who's conservative or capitalist or a nationalist. You have no idea what that is. You might be too stupid to realize that you yourself are actually a communist. You support that. The problem is that you think it's going to be one way. That at the end of the rainbow is going to be one way, and all you have to do is look at the examples of the past. Go look at what happened in Ukraine. Go look at what in Russia, right? With the Bolshevik Revolution, when they got the people that were doing shit for themselves to believe that it was their next door neighbors that were successful, right? The farmers, that it was actually their fault that they were living the way they were, and they killed them. Right, because the government turned a blind eye and said, "Go ahead, let them cause chaos, let them cause all that stuff. As long as they drive these, what they call the kulaks back then, right? The kulaks off their farm. You know what their reward was? Death.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen to you, who turning on your fellow American, right?
Yes.
Whether it's white, black, or whatever, because he has a conservative mindset. He believes in respecting his culture and respecting the country's culture, right? So when you, who are so against that, when you help establish and destroy the independent thinker, the man and the woman that could think for himself, your reward is you're going to get killed in the end, because why would they ever trust you? You turn your back on your own people over an ideology. You're nothing but a foot soldier. that could be convinced
A
by
little
whoever.
rat.
Yeah, you're a little rat, basically. Okay.
Yeah, snitch, the rat.
Right. So when you smile and think you're gonna get your reward, you're gonna get 5 bullets in your head at the end because you think it's one way. It's gonna be the other way when it's all said and done.
And that's the worst thing about liberals, that they always like to disguise it as if they're doing it for the greater good, when in reality they're just doing it so they can benefit as an individual.
Yeah, I just want a final say, really, because I'm gonna have to shut it down. I'm gonna have to shut it down, guys. It's getting late. It's been a great show. My final say is that to recognise you 100%. These people that have sold out, they sit there with a grin on their face while sort of watching their people, their culture being destroyed. I mean, they will pay the price. I can assure you on that. But yeah, thanks a lot, guys. It's been a great show. We had 2.5 hours of boxing and an hour of politics and movies. That's what we do at the BDA. You know, there's only so much we can talk about the Charlo's bum performances. So, that's why we had to move it on. But it was a great show. And thanks for being on, guys. Made it very interesting, and thanks to all the chat.
Adios.
We're out of here. Laters.
Bye bye.